in a bun or a ponytail.
Or a ponytail.
So people still see it, especially when I'm at work.
All right, who wants to do a recap of what happened last week? Drew?
So
Ruben, you want to do it?
We went into the reactor, like the silo with all.
That was where you stopped, right? You stopped when you were gonna go. Was that you were there last time? Were you when we were like the session before that, where we were all talking about going in the little rail cars? I don't remember where you last were. I think
it was.
Yeah, we were just about to.
Yeah. So we just went into the silo with the reactors, and we saw a bunch of people at was it the central reactor?
Yeah, in the middle.
Yeah. So there were people in the central reactor. Some of them were wearing crazy, like, mechanized suits. And so we hatched a plan to split up and to restart some of, like, 2 of the reactors, like these 2, I think.
No, so we're starting like 2 closest one to the start, like this and this.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah, so we restarted those.
Well, as they came down here, the rails also had like C4 on them, and they exploded, so they're like sort of stuck. Like.
Corey went balls to the walls and just like.
Yeah, she like jumped across to like the middle reactor, and then it like tore a strip out of the reactor, like out of the metal on the reactor. It just got peeled away. There's these guys at the bottom, and it seems like when you're in the middle reactor, it's generating some sort of artificial gravity. So like the inside of the reactor is down. So when you're like, even though this is normal down, when you're in the reactor, you stand like on this what would be the ceiling. Yeah, that's why these are all guys all over.
So and the moment my character is in this reactor.
Yeah.
So Ruben is in this one, and like Corey is trying to die in this one.
Yeah.
You're basically fighting like hand to hand with guys in like mechanized suits.
Hey, how many did I take down?
1.
One.
You also
What about, like,
obliterated.
What about like the other guys?
Oh,
that
those guys weren't in mechanized suits. They were just
No.
like people
Yeah.
with like little handguns. And you were just like,
Yeah, but it was great.
she like picked them up and like tore their arms off and like.
Another one, I just picked him up and like smashed him up against a wall. Like I was like, it's really.
Nice.
This is great.
And you broke like this coolant system in the reactor, so now we have
It shot at her foot, but then missed and shot into the reactor. I thought you were still fighting that guy. Are you still fighting that one guy, or did you kill him?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure
Probably
she's
not
fighting.
dead yet.
I don't think that guy was dead yet. I think we
No.
stopped. We were like fighting him.
I know I'm on the ground unconscious.
That's why I mentioned she's trying to die.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
every turn, once per turn, I cough blood.
Yeah, well, because you were like, no, so each turn, you basically will roll to see whether or not you become conscious. If you do become conscious,
Oh,
Continue
yeah.
reading.
well, no, hang on. Every time you become conscious, if you want to do anything other than lie there, you have to do a roll each time. Otherwise, you fall back unconscious. So it's usually preferable to lie there until someone comes and gives you first aid. But like, you know. That's where we last left our.
That's never been any of my
fearless
characters.
group. That's right. You got. Didn't he like blow your arm? He shot your arm off, or he didn't cripple it. Remember, we were like.
Crippled it for sure.
Right.
So you got hit like in the leg or hand. So the rest of armor should be good.
Yeah, it was the hand.
So it definitely was not in the body. So and you had to double check
Yeah, that's
what damage she had to take.
And I didn't obviously do that, so.
I've always been very kamikaze.
Because I'm not sure if it at all like applies. So.
In D&D, I've almost killed my entire party several times. Like you're in a gaseous swamp and I use fireball. The whole swamp has flames.
Just in case. Gotta be sure.
Well, I was killing something. But
If you take X amount of damage times hit points to a limb, then the limb is crippled.
Yeah, but could you go like unconscious just because damage in the limb? I'm not
Oh
sure.
no, the reason why it's unconscious is because of like the blood loss.
But it not happen like right away.
I assume you bleed a lot when you go off of them.
Sure, there's just shock rules that basically says that if you take a certain amount of damage, then you
But
basically.
what amount though? What certain amount?
Okay, I'll tell you. Jeez, man. Jeez.
Because she already got some damage in hand before this, probably same one. So like amount of damage she could take is like limited. And it could be lower than this like threshold for like conscious check. I'm not sure.
Shock,
Maybe
419. So I have two versions of the books now, so if you want to read up, you can.
Where'd you get another version?
My buddy Martin, who used to play with me, he rescued them. Whenever you suffer injury, reduce your dex and IQ by the number of hit points you lost to a maximum penalty of -4, regardless of your injuries on your next turn only. General injury, lost hit points. Oh yeah, let's look at max.
so like first question is
Yeah.
what damage she can take, like
Right,
out
right,
of this like 40 or something she got.
A major wound is any single injury greater than half your hit points. If you're using hit locations, the lesser injury that cripples a body part also counts as a major wound. It counts as crippling injury. Crippling injury. When using hit locations, blah blah blah. For humans, limb injury over half hit points. So she took 15 damage,
If I had 10.
and she had 10 hit points left. But your total is it based on your total hit points?
Yeah, for sure.
So then it'd be right on half. I mean, if I lose an arm, I can always try to
Grow
reattach
another
someone
one.
else's.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll say
surgeon skill.
so. We'll say that
No.
no, but she's still. The reason why she was unconscious is because she went under 0 hit points.
The question is if she went under 0. So what was your hit point before this hit?
It was 10.
Okay, so 10 and you took like 15. Yeah, then it makes
Right,
sense.
yeah.
So and again, what check you run when you go just below like 0?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that right now. 0 or less, you're in immediate danger of collapse. In addition to above, make a health roll at the start of your next turn and -1 per full multiple of hit points below 0, which is not. So it's just a regular hit roll, and that's the one she did, and she failed, so she fell unconscious.
Well, she actually went -5 then.
See what happens when I join
Yeah,
the
0
game.
hit points or less.
I break shit. It's what I do.
Right, but it's -1 per full, so she had to be at -30 in
Oh,
order
good.
to.
Okay, got it. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, you wanna play two? What's your
Yeah,
character?
so basically, it now says, so you can either you can attempt to remain unconscious. You can be unconscious and not have to keep rolling, or if you want to get up, you've got to roll each time you do something.
And the only penalty is that I stay unconscious if I roll crappy.
Basically, if you roll to become conscious and you fail, then you're still unconscious.
But it's not
If
like
you roll and succeed, then at the beginning of each round you have to roll again, and then if you fail, then you fall back unconscious again.
Which is not worse than staying unconscious.
But that's your whole turn. What's the point? You're in that perpetual state of trying to maintain consciousness. Not doing it.
Why not? Be funny as shit.
Just like, nope.
So you're also, and additionally, you're also -4. Oh no, sorry, high hit points. If you have 20 or more hit points, which you do, your shock penalty is -1 per hit points divided by 10 of injury. Thus, if you have 20 to 29 hit points, which you do, it's -1 per 2 hit points lost. So basically, it is it's -1 per hit point to a maximum of 4 reduced. So it's 15 divided by 2 is 7. So it's still -4. Okay.
But it's just for the next turn.
Yes. If you get up, basically. All right.
No, it's just for next turn. So if you're not gonna get up like next turn,
Yeah, it's a
on
loophole.
turn after it
But it's
doesn't.
basically it's supposed to be if you're not unconscious, then you have to then you're
Yeah.
-4. But if you're unconscious, it doesn't really do much for you. You know, like it's not really All right. So Drew, what we're gonna do with you is we're going to put you. I think we'll put you with Ruben's character. I think. What's your you're a biological you're the guy that he's doing all the job that you're supposed to do. Like he's the one who's repairing the reactor, which is supposed to be what you would normally do. I think your character's right here. Sergeant Hicks. Sergeant Hicks. I don't know if you have some notes here. I'll let you. I think these are both yours. Yeah, I'll let you have both of these so you can continue making more notes.
-10.
It takes a very long time to die.
Cool, isn't
You basically have to be at -5 times your hit points. So if your hit points are 30 times 5 is what you have to be to actually die. The downside is that it's very difficult to like heal that much damage. You know,
Just
you have to
dragging
get
my body
150.
for like 3 games.
No.
Yeah.
Is she okay? Still unconscious. Alright. Need to go faster. There's a boulder chasing us.
Dead
Shit.
weight this whole campaign.
So what we'll do is we'll make it. Let's just make it. Vitaly, you can go. You can start us off with what you want to do next.
So at the moment, so let me just recap. So
Yep.
I asked this Artemis if he can do like anything. Artemis like anything with this coolant thing like right away.
Right. Yeah.
So we had to get some.
You have to go to this other.
Yeah.
area.
And if we shut down this like center reactor, it may help to extend this time.
Correct.
Like
Correct. Yeah.
So since I heard like shooting outside, so my next goal I can't
this
really.
reactor here.
Yeah, I'm not sure about all this like geometry of this opening and ripped off like casing of reactor.
Yeah.
So I want to move myself in order to be still like hidden, but trying to have like a shot at someone on that middle reactor.
Right. So because when you look down from the hole, the piece of metal that was stripped down, like hid whoever was underneath.
Yeah, underneath. But what about this guy in the middle? Now I should be able to see him.
Unless you're still moving. Are you moving now, or are you? Because you weren't just standing there looking. You said you were.
No, I wasn't here. So I went back to check the
Right.
computer, and now I going back to the opening,
Okay.
and I hope that I will see. Like my character doesn't know it, but I want to take a peek, and maybe I will see this guy here.
Yep. So I'll say that when you
Again, and I'm keeping stealth, though. I'm not. I'm trying not to be like seen right away. I'm not just like. Pulling myself
what's
out.
up? Yeah, you can see the guy.
Then I will shoot.
Okay.
This maybe rifle.
Okay.
So from what I see on this armor, what should be like a weak spot or something like this? So how bad is
you would
this?
have to roll on it. There's a type of skill called evaluate.
I have like soldier skill and I have tactics.
Is that haunting of Hill House over here?
What the hell just happened? No, it was really weird.
But it
Like
literally felt like a
There's
bang,
animal
and that was
puppets,
just-
you know?
Yeah,
something was,
like shaking over there.
Yeah.
The whole desk shifted like something ran into it.
Oh, maybe the dog thing.
No, the dog right here. The whole time.
That's just straight
What
up
the
weird.
fuck?
Yeah.
Happy
I saw it.
Halloween,
I saw it
everyone.
happen too.
Yeah.
That's preternatural activity right there.
I just don't want this to like break, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's nothing
Don't kill the animal.
wrong.
Ghost raccoon.
Ghost raccoon. I like that. Do you think there's like a whole bunch of animals that are ghosts around the basement just hanging out?
It was a mouse that
Like-
killed it.
There's Ghost Bear and Ghost Fox.
What are you talking about, weirdo?
You're talking about a ghost raccoon. I'm like, what if there's like a whole plethora of
Well, there's no
ghost
bears.
animals?
There's no bears in this neighborhood.
If they're ghost bears, you have no clue
How
that
would
they
you know
don't
you haven't
exist.
Can I have ghost bear spray, just in case? So did you have your gun like in your arms, or like running around with your gun in your hands, or
Yeah,
you
probably.
like probably, or yes, you are. You
Yes,
just say
yes,
yes,
I am.
yes, you are. Okay.
Since
Which
like
gun are
we're
you
waiting,
using?
this I'm trying to find the stats for it.
Oh,
It's like,
you
I
don't
will
have
tell
the
you.
stats.
I'm
Holy
not sure
geez, you
because
ate
it's
the whole
different.
bag of chips. This wasn't just for you,
Yes,
you
I
know.
did.
This was just for everyone.
Oh.
This was a full bag.
Should have been
No,
more specific.
There was like a
Yes.
corner.
Full bag when you arrived.
Who wants an orange tuna?
Guys. I'll take an orange, please.
I will too if you have enough. I don't want to.
Oh yeah, it's correct one probably. Yeah. So I got it on the list. So again, so can I roll either like tactics or soldiers to evaluate like what would be relatively like weak spot on this?
I think there's like a
The
maneuver,
main,
right?
main question for me whether I should head for like head or vital organs.
Evaluate maneuver 325. Let's take a look. It's in this. It's in this. Let's just see. Because I like learning new stuff. You know. It's good to learn new stuff. Maneuvers. Evaluate. Study an adversary to gain a combat bonus on a subsequent attack. You must specify a visible opponent close enough to attack. An evaluate maneuver gives +1 skill for an attack, feint, all-out attack or move. You may take up to 3. You can take 3 seconds, and each second gives you a +1.
It's different thing. So what you just read, it's a way to get like +1 on a hit.
Yes.
So it's, but I'm just trying like get information. So which part of this armor looks like more like reasonably like being able to penetrate with my gun. So what's weak spot like?
It's more or less the same thing.
Not really. So I'm asking for DR, not for +1 on my hit. I'm asking for information. It's like information roll.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I understand. Well, you'll basically have to watch him for a turn, and then next turn.
Okay, then I will go for a head.
You're gonna shoot anyway.
Like I will shoot in the head.
Okay.
So I will shoot in the head, and what's the distance like? Minuses, bonuses to my roll?
It's minus. You're like 150 feet away from him.
Like I'm shooting from sniper rifle.
Sure.
With,
Well, you can't shoot from a sniper rifle as a snapshot.
I could because I have this hood display. It was like with infrared.
But it doesn't have targeting on it, though, right?
It
I mean,
has.
don't you have to look down the scope?
Actually, I'm not even sure if I have to look through the scope. It allows like snapshot, this hood display. When you're all connected, you don't even need like to look through the scope. You have this display on your eye. It's allow you to get like top of ACC.
Is this tech level?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah, sure, I guess so.
Like it's available right now, like in real life.
Oh, yeah, but I don't think it like zooms the same way as you would like get a sniper scope bonus.
Yeah, probably, but you're not getting like sniper scope. It's not on book at all. So you're not getting bonuses for actual sniper scope. There is no such a bonus in a book.
Well, the sniper rifle has a bonus. You don't get that aim bonus. You instead get the HUD bonus.
Okay, so what
you
would
get
be
one,
my
you
bonus
get
then?
one or the other.
So it gives you like this system gives you probably just like half of the ACC, not the full. Like I have stats written here.
Yep.
Like including.
What page is it from, or what book is it from?
It's should
not
be
in
either
the
high
main
tech or ultra tech.
Okay. Well, I don't have either of those books on hand, so. That's
But again, so it's like
But you don't get it instantly, right? Don't you have to aim in order to get the bonus?
to have like half of ACC, no.
Okay.
With this system,
Okay.
that's whole point of this later
Okay.
side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's like a natural minus or bonus because of distance and things like that? I can like calculate the rest.
Well, the distance, I believe. Well, I mean, the distance should be listed. Like, what's on the gun? Isn't there a distance on the gun?
I mean, in 4th edition, you have like minus for the distance of the shot.
Right. Oh, here it is. Yeah, 4th edition.
Like it's definitely within range, so it's no doubt.
Yeah, it looks like the range modifier for 150 yards is -11.
-11. Okay.
Yep. And then you're shooting at the head, which is -7. So that's -11
-18.
plus -18. Yeah.
Okay, and now I have to calculate my bonuses from the rifle.
Yeah.
Let me find the stat.
So hard to shoot him.
Well, he's also got a ridiculously high skill, you know. Yeah, you can plug. Oh, you can. No, he's plugged in there.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's plugged in there. You can plug it in the kitchen, but that's the only other.
Okay. That'll do.
So what's the rifle?
It's like
It's probably 7.
so it's .338 rifle.
Yeah.
Like here on the list, it shows me like ACC like 6+3. I'm not sure where like +3 coming from. It's probably like 6 on snapshot in this case.
338, you said? Sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says 6+3. I see that as well. Accuracy. Accuracy. If your weapon has a built-in scope, the bonus appears as a separate modifier after the weapon's base.
Mm-hmm.
So so the scope is the +2 or the +3. So you don't have that scope because you're not using the
Okay,
scope.
but I'm still using here on my ACC for snapshot because of laser sight. Okay, it's fair.
Right. So
I can use
you get
+6.
you get 3.
6.
You get half the accuracy bonus. You said. You just told me it was half.
Just let me double check.
Yeah, that's what you said a second ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a sec. It should be an auto attack. It's hard.
What's that, bro?
It's cold. You're cold? Well, geez, just tell me you're cold. Don't
I
just
just did.
Well, no, now you did.
It's like mostly my lap and arms.
Very specific.
I'm a very specific person.
This is very warm.
Sweet.
But really warm. Like wrap it around yourself first. It's pretty cozy.
Damn Canada being so damn cold. I ask myself every year why I'm still here.
Why are you still here, Corey? Jeez.
It's fucking, I can't afford to leave. That's how Ottawa locks you in.
That's what people get. Did you find it?
Almost there.
What's it called?
Hood display. So the link at the hood itself gives +1 ACC within 300 yards.
So that's the plus instead of the scope, yeah.
Not cumulated with ACC from other targeting systems, so scope doesn't work, but this +1 works. And now I have to find this. Go back.
Sir, that is sexual harassment.
It says here the HUD link really shouldn't give an accuracy bonus. It makes far more sense for it to give the benefit of a reflex sight.
Hashtag victim blaming.
Yeah. It shouldn't stack with other targeting systems because you're basically swapping it out. So it's basically It's basically the same thing as it's basically like a plus
good
one.
points.
The question is, am I getting my ACC or not? I've seen somewhere that
You're
I'm
getting-
getting.
I will allow until we figure it out. I'll allow you to get half of your accuracy bonus. So you get 3 plus 1.
Okay, so it's could that provides like +2 if for like aimed shot, so it's not aimed, so +1 for like snapshot, and then I have to figure out ACC. It should be in just give me a second.
Well, where did it say half of the?
What I'm looking for it.
Okay.
Should probably be on the side or something like this.
Is it Ultra Tech 1 or Ultra Tech 2?
I'm looking at Tech 1 right now.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I wrote down the stats from it once, but I lost this file.
Well, let's just, for the sake of not
Uh-huh.
like lagging it anymore, let's say that you get half your accuracy bonus and then you get the +1 from the
So it's
scope.
like
So
+4, so it will set me
Are
to.
you still talking
my
about
double
the
check.
Yeah, it's minus 14.
So it's -14 to my
Devils and details.
1 and 1 is not good. Then I will take aim maneuver instead.
You can't change it.
I can't?
Well, you just said I'm going to do it. If it was
Okay.
if it worked,
Okay.
then it would work. If it didn't work,
Okay.
you gotta.
Okay.
It's like
Okay.
I didn't know what.
Okay, so I have to hit like 7.
I gotta fucking want to play games.
This is gaming.
That's how it works, bro. It's just like normally most of the game most of the game like universes that I run are more low tech. So when you start putting high tech stuff in and there's a lot of guns, it becomes a lot more complicated. So.
But I mean, we can maybe.
I made it.
Ooh, yeah,
Okay,
there you
cool.
go. Nicely done. Nicely done.
Right, well, it's a system. It's like
Now I get to dodge.
D&D D20 system.
Oh, okay.
Could he see like my roll?
Nope, it doesn't dodge.
Kind of like Thaco.
So one bullet hits.
Thaco, remember that?
That
So
goes for you.
I'm not sure. Probably yeah. It should be a single shot.
How many
Oh,
bullets
by
did
the
you
way,
fire?
just-
How many would you have fired
Like
realistically?
if I I would fire like up to 3 probably.
Okay.
But we have to check on the stats. What's like recoil on this firearm? Given 7, maybe not more than 2. Let me see recoil. Recoil is rate of fire 1.
Yeah, recoil is 4.
No, rate of fire 1, so it's like
Yeah.
impossible. It's just 1.
Yeah.
Yes, just 1 hit.
Yeah.
So it's 9d plus 1, and it should be an armor piercing round. I'm not sure what it gives me. What's the difference for armor piercing or like regular round?
Well, roll for damage,
Okay.
and it basically means it's armored, so the armor will be
Okay.
half basically,
So-
half effectiveness.
This is garbage, right?
It is, yeah.
So it's like 7.
No, that's a terrible roll.
Yeah, it's terrible one. So it's like 6, 12, 13, and I have 2 more to roll.
Okay.
So 13 and another 8, so like 21.
21.
Yeah.
Okay. You shoot, and yeah, it blows a hole through the head of the thing, and you just see the guy falls down. He falls on top of you. Let's see if he falls on top of you. No, he doesn't. He doesn't fall on top of you. You're okay. Yeah, he falls down.
Because he would be a dick if he like died on top of me.
No, he fell down.
After all that work.
Yep.
If I have like fire and step, I would try to hide like grunge if I still have. No, it's a muscle next time.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
whatever.
Yeah.
So nobody inside. So
He doesn't look like he's moving. So,
I mean, there should be others.
What are these? Are they creatures? Are they humanoids?
no, they look like
They're people.
The people
Or
in
just
suits. Yeah.
People in suits. Like Iron
The other ones
It's
are
like
suits are
Fallout
already
power
dead.
suits.
yeah, it looks like this without the wings.
Oh.
Okay.
Wasn't there one point where no, that was a different one. Never mind.
Ruben, it's your turn.
Okay.
You are in, I think you were in this, or you're in this one. You
No,
moved over
pretty
to
sure
this
it was in
one.
that.
Yeah, I can see the little X's there, so
Yeah,
you're in there.
Yeah, it was definitely.
So you guys are both in there.
Can I use this armor without helmets?
I don't know.
Oh, I can see the green now.
Yeah, from certain angles and
Yeah.
stuff.
It's like,
It's very, because there's black underneath.
I didn't turn that. I didn't restart that reactor, did I?
I don't think so.
You did.
No?
Did I?
No, not that one. So just first one.
Just, the two that are checked.
I'm not sure if you get the second one.
Yeah, you got here.
Yeah, I
Oh.
definitely got there.
Yeah, that's why there's little marks there.
Yeah, so I'll start turning on this reactor.
Okay.
Restarting it.
Okay, so roll d6. Well, roll your skill first.
Isn't there some sort of audible notification if you get a message on the thing?
What thing?
The little chat spot?
Oh, maybe I don't see anybody. I can see that it's
No.
I can see the chat there, but I can't see anybody.
No, but it'd be really good if there was a chime every time somebody typed something in.
Yeah, well, we just need Drew. I'm gonna get Drew to be our
Stand there and go,
the
ding!
moderator. No, he's gonna be the guy that talks to the girls that watch our stream. He's gotta be
When
like
you-
this.
So you're gonna be pretty
as soon as
quiet,
you said
right?
the ding, it was like, I pictured those porn webcams.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wait, which skill am I using?
The nuclear, the one that you used last time.
I don't remember which one I used.
I think you're rolling on the.
Skills.
That was thank you.
13, the ordnance disposal one.
Okay.
You're doing it. You're gonna do it at a -1 now because this is his skill. Now that remember, I said before he was gonna be the one that would normally do this, but I let you roll it because you were the only one in the group. But he's the one who has that. He was actually more. You have biological.
Bioengineering.
Yeah, and then you have nuclear, right? Don't you?
Oh, has, I believe so. That was someone else.
So then you
I
could
thought he did.
I thought I was technically the nuclear.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. So roll your 13. That's fine.
I'm the bio guy.
Could you bioengineer a two-headed frog that I could carry around?
No.
Damn it.
That'll work.
Well, I don't science, okay?
Okay, so now roll 1d6, and that's how long it takes you to. Hey.
3.
Right, so it's going to take 3 minutes to do this one. Drew, what would you like to do?
Oh, where am I at this
So
point?
you're in the same react. So just to give you a little bit of an understanding of the way this works. So this is a top-down view of what the reactors look like. There are 5 large reactors, and then in the middle there's a smaller one that's a slightly different shape. And so these 5 reactors normally handle the load for all of the 3 silos that in the thing you're in. So remember when you were playing before and you were in that upper social area or in that sort of shaft. Remember you fought those Russians and there was that grid. So this is all below that.
Yeah.
So this up above here is that social area. The different silos are sort of here, here, and here.
Yeah.
And so this is down below. If you looked at this from the side, it would kind of look like this sort of thing. And there are these little catwalks that go between the different ones. There's other ones behind, this is this from the side. But then below, there's also these rail systems. And they if here's the shaft that you're in, there are these the rail cars that you guys drove basically came out of these holes in the sides of the shaft, and they basically went how do they go? They went like this, like that. So but they go closer to the bottoms of the reactors. So that these are basically so you can ride the rail car underneath, and then these rail cars have little arms on them, and you can repair from inside these rail cars.
Yeah, okay.
But basically these things got blown out. So everyone's in a suit. It's in a much heavier suit than you remember before you were in NBC suits. you're in these heavier suits now that give you half an hour of exposure within this
Except
area.
me, 'cause I can't
Except
fit
for
on
you,
them.
you don't need a suit. But then also, like here and here on the rail systems, there are also junctions that head down to like lower access points. There's other like access panels that go into other places, and that's where one of the so right now there's like a nuclear coolant leak. So basically the plan is to send someone down into one of these lower areas to try and get down there to try and turn on the emergency coolant system to cool the reactor, otherwise it's going to blow up.
Okay.
So you're in,
fix the reactors with these robot carts?
you can, but the thing is that so you guys took these robot carts down here, but then they got the carts, the rails on this side, which is the location you guys came from, they got blown off. They got exploded, and so the rails are hanging down in a few places. You and Ruben are both inside, like below each reactor. If you look at like let's say this is what the reactor looks like. Below each reactor, there's a sort of like a cone at the bottom that's got holes in it. These reactors are quite old; they're from the 50s. So there's like this part of the metal is all like rusted and stuff, but it's got catwalks inside it, and that's where you guys climbed up through to get into the actual. There's like a control level for each reactor, which is at the bottom of all of the, like this part here is all just, you know, and the reactor itself, like you can't go inside that part of it, but then below each reactor is a sort of like a mini control room, and that's where you and Ruben are right now.
Okay.
I know it's a lot to
That's a lot.
a lot to take in. And then there are also people down, so inside this middle reactor, all of the power for these 5 reactors is funneled through the middle reactor and up into the facility. But this reactor here is currently in danger of melting down. All these other reactors were turned off, and Ruben is slowly been going around turning them on. There's bad guys. You know, the bad guys that you're fighting are like underneath or within this reactor. It's more or less a catch up.
Okay.
So you are welcome.
Are they armed and aiming at us?
There's no one aiming at you because you guys are sort of hidden in this area. So if you wanted to, like, if you went out on this catwalk here, you'd be able to flank them to see them from another angle. Most of the rest of the party is over here.
To be fair, I've been a fairly good distraction.
Yeah. Well, what's their interest? Do we know? Do they want these fixed too, or why can't we just work together with these guys?
Well, that was the original plan. That was what they thought they were doing, but they weren't really sure what they were. They weren't really sure whether they were fixing the reactors or whether they were causing them to.
Now I know it, but
Right.
I'm not sure if I share it.
Right. So you don't really know. He knows what they're trying to do because he intercepted their radio transmissions, but he hasn't shared that with the rest of the group.
It could be venomous and hostile.
Correct.
Well, probably I had to, so I had some time. If I had time, so I was waiting for her to act. So
Right.
technically I should have said this through our radio. So anyway, I can do it next turn.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So
What do you want to do, Drew?
well, wait. I don't have any skills for fixing anything, so should just sit tight while people know what they're doing.
You could either. So what you could do is you could go out on this catwalk if you wanted to like provide cover
If you
fire.
wanna
Just
die.
like, well, no.
Yeah, I
Die.
don't want to like make any more distraction for like
Sure.
I want to fix what isn't broken.
Sure. Well, you can also cover
Because
him.
we're secretly working on fixing it, so they don't even know we're in that.
That's
reactor,
correct. They don't really
so
know
that might be
Yeah.
smart to just stay there.
Sure. So you're just gonna sit tight.
Well, we're not sure whether they know we are there. So
I was pretty loud.
Well, they know where you are, but they don't know where these
Oh,
are.
yeah.
okay.
It just seems like I'm out in the open and they're more protective if I just go out on the catwalk or whatever.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially since there are guys with like gigantic guns. Like the guy that was shooting at him had like an artillery. Like
Yeah, I don't want any of that. I'll stay where I am.
they know none of that shit.
No.
All right. What do you want to do? Do you want to stay unconscious?
I'm gonna try and flop.
You're gonna try what?
And flop.
What do you mean?
Basically move.
Okay, so roll
I
on your
expect
health.
to look like a fish. All three?
Yeah, roll under 12.
Nice.
Yeah, so there you go. So you're able to get up.
Thanks.
So what do you want to do?
Is there anyone around me?
There's a body lying beside you of one of those guys with a gigantic gun.
There was no one alive?
Not that you can see, no. There's a lot. There's quite as you get up, like blood is like shooting at your arm, and you can see that there's bullets in your arm, right? Because the guy had a big. Who's the guy that shot at you with the machine gun guy, not the other guy, right? Yes, correct. Right. So yeah, so it's the guy with the machine gun on his arm.
Is there any form of tape or adhesive?
You need first aid in order to do that kind of stuff.
Like at all?
Yep, that's the way it works.
Even like tie a shirt to
Correct. Because you know, Corey, how to do that, but
Yeah.
that's what the first aid skill is.
Everyone knows how to do that.
That's unfortunately, yeah, that's
It's
the way.
legit like.
It's the way the game
Yeah.
works. It's unfortunately the game works. If you
So
look
I can't
skill-
even put on a shitty plastic waterproof bandage with health skill. Oh my god.
That's what first aid is for.
I'm absolutely retarded. Alright,
Just use that.
You can roll on your IQ -4 if you want to try and do it, which is not a bad roll.
you end up stabbing yourself instead. Fuck.
You just got to roll under 9. That's not bad.
Okay, I will try to roll under 9.
There you go. You made it.
9.
There you go. So you're able to tie some sort of plastic wrap. You can basically use it to cut off the as a tourniquet. if you
Circular.
want.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you do that.
Cool.
I don't like that roll.
You can hear. Drew, can you please roll and you also, Ruben, can you both roll on your perception? If you have any bonuses to hearing, you can add those.
Yes. I have acute hearing.
Do you?
3.
Nice. You have 3 acute hearing?
Yeah.
So you roll on your perception.
It's on the 50.
Yeah.
7. Yep. 11.
How much did you make it by?
That one.
How much did you make it by?
4.
Okay. So you don't hear anything. You can hear what sounds like some sort of noise on the outside of this.
What kind of noise? Like a scuttling?
Yeah, like a scuttling noise. That would be a pretty good one. We'll go with the scuttling, kind of like, but it's very quiet. Like
It's like
you
a Skinner.
hear it because you have particularly good ears.
Yeah.
You can sort of, and you
And it's not a flash.
the fact that you have that skill, like acute hearing, means that you can sort of identify it as like it sounds like there's someone moving around on the outside of the reactor that you're currently in.
Okay.
And you pass the skill with enough points that if you wanted to sort of shoot through the wall at him, you could do that.
I think.
You don't have to. I'm just saying you would be able to. You might be like. You'd be at a -1 to shoot through the wall.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know. You don't have to do it. It's not even really your like attack per se, but it's kind of dubious.
I think I'll shoot through the wall.
Okay. What are you using? Your flamethrower to shoot through the wall?
I'm using
Heck yeah.
It's a wooden nuclear reactor, so be careful.
Well, it was created back in the 1800s.
Yeah, it's the oldie steampunk reactor.
I will.
Slime
use
is live, don't worry.
My wait, the assault card, is that my assault rifle, the carbine?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I'll use that.
Use that.
Yeah.
So roll in your carbine skill.
Oh.
Should be gun rifle.
Guns.
I'm fairly certain that you don't have any these skills.
Like carbine should go under gun rifle skill.
No, it's right here. Guns, rifle, 13.
Oh,
And it's 12 because you're shooting through the wall.
Yeah. Okay. 8, 9. So I made it by 3.
Yep. So roll on your damage. Yep.
This is another.
What is it? 4 dice.
4 dice plus 2 piercing. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
5, 8, 9.
Okay.
What's the plus 2 piercing do? Is that do that?
Plus
I
2.
have plus 2 PI. Is that pierce?
Yeah. So it's not. So it's what was it? 9 plus 2, so 11. Okay. All right. You shoot through the wall, and there's like a. Let's see if there's anyone else who. Yeah, you sort of like the scuttling stops, and then you hear like slightly above you, like a boom noise. I can't tell you what it is, but there's like a boom
From
noise.
above?
Yeah, slightly above you. Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like grenade launcher.
How wise is this to keep shooting everywhere? I don't know.
Well, it's not your turn now yet. You guys have to wait a second. Corey. Oh no, it's alright. The counter's turn.
So I see no movement through this like opening.
I thought you ducked down.
Oh, so I managed to do this.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So yeah, you're looking. You can't see anything else. You saw Corey get up.
Like any movement, not the reactors, like nothing.
No, because you still can't see underneath this.
Then I will probably.
You can
So,
slide.
Where are the rails stop?
The rails. So the rails stop. Like remember here, like.
So.
It ripped apart. Yeah.
So I mean, so I probably, so my like cart fall down right
Correct.
from underneath this reactor.
Correct. Yeah.
So I can't make the second I had control over like another cart. It stopped somewhere like here.
Yeah.
So while I'm disconnected from this reactor, can this AI still control the cart or not?
You would have to you'd have to leave the AI connected to that computer if you wanted to be able to.
Okay, so then
You
I
can't
will,
connect-
okay,
you can't
so then I
connect-
will try to make my way to this catwalk like keep stealthing.
Okay.
I'm not sure how long will it take.
You roll 1 dice, and then and then that will give me some better. Yeah, so it's only take you 1 minute. Well, so a few minutes.
So how many rounds?
We're not going to say it's 60 rounds. We'll say that it's from where you are. We'll say that it's let's just add 5, so it's going to take 6 rounds. I think that's realistic. So you start skulking down around here. Ruben, what do you want to do? Oh, you're still fixing the reactor, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to be there for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to do?
How able am I to walk?
You have to roll a health roll again to see if you stay conscious.
Okay, cool.
What's your health? Okay, you're fine.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So what do you want to do?
Where am I in this?
You're still here.
Okay. I want to go back here.
Okay. So you're just crawling back through all the pipes again. But what is your goal? Do you have any sort of goal in mind?
To clear it out. I'm just checking for more people.
Okay. Yeah. As you climb down through here, there's just a bunch of dead bodies here that you killed last time.
Sweet.
Again.
Toss them out.
Grab this guy's rifle. It should be cool.
Do you have any gun skill? No. So you'll be rolling on your dex -4 to use the gun. No.
Or you can just use it to swing.
You can just hit
It's
people.
like a
with it.
baseball bat. I could. Yeah. But I feel like my fist would still be more effective.
Okay. You do notice as you're crawling down through here, it looks like there's a red blinking light on the body,
Ooh. I
on the
definitely want to
armored
look.
body.
I definitely want to look at the light.
You want to look at the light?
I'm gonna go look at the light.
Okay.
It explodes.
The light, yeah, the light has a number on it, and it's counting down from 2 minutes.
Awesome. Okay. It's still my turn.
Yeah, it is.
Can I chuck the body out of the hole?
You can. Yes.
I will attempt to
Okay.
chuck the body out of the hole.
Roll strength, but don't fail. Hey, it didn't fail. So you throw it out to here.
Out of the entire
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you
it's
throw it
like-
up.
Yeah, exactly. It just seems like the simplest solution.
Yeah, so you throw it
My
up.
man's on the reactor.
You don't even know. You don't even know.
Lands on the stuff that was dropped, explodes, shrapnel everywhere. Great. Like fireworks. Fireworks and blood.
That's the last thing I see.
Okay, you guys are so you're working away on the computer there. Drew, where you're standing, you see what looks like to be like it looks like a knife, but the knife is like glowing hot, like red hot,
Lightsaber.
and it just
Yeah.
like
My
and
lightsaber.
no, but it's just like it's like a little tanto, like it's a little like blade like this long, like
Tiny
that
lightsaber.
sort of
It's like a
style.
fire.
Like a little, yeah, and you just see it like it cuts through the wall in front of you, and you see the wall, like the metal around the blade, sort of like melting, and like the and you can just see it like cutting a slit
I'm
in
not
front of
having
you.
a flashback right now because I have this.
How would that
How
be
do
a
I know if
flashback?
it's a flashback?
You
How do
don't.
you-
He would know if it's a flashback because you can say, "Hey, can you see what I
Is
see?"
that happening?
You have flashbacks to glowing knives,
I don't know.
cutting
I
through
have crazy
metal
flashbacks.
metal
Severe.
walls.
I don't know what I see.
Yeah. You see it too.
Use it to
Okay.
make a glory hole.
That escalated.
Shit. Well,
Shoot through the wall again.
yeah.
That worked last time.
And actually, it's not your turn anymore because it took you a turn to ask him whether or not it was real.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the second. You're like, "Hey, guy, is this saying anything?" He's like, "Yeah, that's happening." Okay. Right.
Well,
Hey man,
so she goes.
this is what happens
Ruben?
when you think.
Well, you don't get to do anything
No.
because you're just still fixing the reactor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume we're gonna do it.
You've got 5 more seconds left.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
Cool. So now that I got rid of
You're
my
in.
exploding
Yeah, you're
heart,
in here. Yeah.
Can I check the other spot? What's below? Well, technically above me, I guess.
What do you mean? In here? You haven't been in there yet.
Yeah. Can I check it out?
Yeah, you can.
Doing it.
Okay, so you open up the there's like a hatch here.
Yes.
So you like jump up to the hatch and you like slide it open.
Can I do a health check?
Yes, make a health check. You made it again. You're doing very well on those health checks.
Oh yeah.
It looks like the inside of this reactor here
Yes.
has got a number of like looks like you can't really identify it, but it looks like there's a large number of they look kind of like mines or C4 packets, but you don't really know what these things are, so you just like they look like electrical devices planted all over the inside of this.
Or is everything wired in?
Yeah, they're all wired in.
Damn. But like nobody is in there, right?
No one's in there.
Punch him.
Does it? Oh, I was gonna rip them off and put it down the hole again, but they're wired, so that might be bad news. And that's
Yeah,
what my
they all
eyes
have
are.
little blinking lights on them, but there's no countdowns on them. They all have little antennas on them as well, like little like.
Oh fuck! Is that trigger to the body? Oh my god! So they're gonna fucking blow any time.
You got this. You got this.
I would like to use heraldry. No. Which I actually have, by the way.
You need it. It's an important skill to have.
And I'm also great at photography, by the way. Okay. I do not know anything about explosives, apparently. I can freeze it.
Nope, you can't.
If it was art. Maybe it's
Well, remember you have a radio that you can use to talk to these other guys if you
Okay.
want to.
okay. What other options do I have? I don't think I have any other options. Okay, I'm just gonna radio in that I found some explosives then.
Okay. So you're using the. So you get a message. Well, everyone gets a message that Corey's character found some explosives of some sort.
And that I think they're like connected to the suit I just tossed into the giant hole.
Do you want to share now when it's your turn? Do you want to share with them what you heard on the radio?
Yep, sure.
Okay. So go ahead.
It's not on the radio. I got this information from the radio.
Right, but you wanted to share it with them.
Yeah, I got it
You
from
got
the
some
computer
arcades.
that
Yeah,
they
yeah,
trying to cut it off. Yeah, so I'm doing this.
Okay.
So they basically been trying to disable like all this, all other reactors to just cut them off. So they basically were like breaking all this stuff.
They're basically trying to turn all the reactors off.
I'm trying to shut it on.
So is there like some sort of way I can like cut those wires or something to get some sort?
Well, you don't have any skills in that
That's
stuff?
what I'm asking
No.
on the radio.
So we need like his character in here.
Yep, you need his character in here for sure.
I'm still.
Well, I guess I have to drag my body up there.
What are you gonna do now?
Does it still have that gravitational?
Yep.
Can I punch a hole?
Like through the floor?
Yeah.
Yep.
I will do that.
Which floor?
Yeah, right there.
Here. So how are we gonna reach there? It's like your ceiling,
I'm
Yeah,
standing
but
right
she's
in there.
there.
but
Yeah.
she can reach to like to this.
Or I can.
Yeah, it's
I
not
can,
that big.
I can punch here or where.
Yeah, it's not that big.
Mhm.
Okay,
I do it.
roll straight. Brawling.
Oh, okay. Which?
Brawling.
Just
B.
general
B for
brawling.
brawling.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was looking at the techniques.
Yeah.
So 13. Damn.
Okay.
Just right on 13.
Yeah, it's hit the no, defender wins. If it's 13, you still are okay. So roll for damage. So it's thrust. So THR, which is right, damage thrust, 3D. So 3 dice, yeah. Yeah, so you just like, you punch a hole, through and you choose a spot where there's no device, so you're not stupid.
Yeah.
You punch a hole through. Okay.
Not all the time, anyway.
Okay. All right. You punch a hole through, something grabs your arm on the other side. And now we will go to.
Looks like I'm carrying a body through a hole.
Oh, you're still going. You've got 4 seconds left. Drew. So the knife like finishes cutting and something. It looks like a guy dressed in like kind of like what kind of games have you played? Like Splinter Cell?
No.
You played like so. It's like a guy dressed in like an all black sort of suit.
Wait, Sam Fisher?
And he's got like a helmet that goes over his entire face, and he's got like 3 like red glowing sort of sensors like on his face, and as he like pushes through he bends through the metal, and it doesn't look like it's like burning his hands or his gloves. He's like wearing a full suit, and as he goes through, you can see his body kind of like flickers, like it's sort of like partially invisible, like sort of like flickering as he steps through, and he's holding the knife in front of him like this, and like.
So he's an invincible monster, basically.
I don't know if invincible, but I mean he's a scary monster. Yeah. He's some sort of a soldier of some sort, I guess.
What do you have to do is take your fire knife and be like.
Like Green Bullets.
Can I just disarm the fire knife?
Yeah, sure you can. Roll on disarming.
Ooh. There you go.
Do you have any sort of first like hand?
Knife, judo.
You have judo?
Knife and judo.
Oh, if you have judo, then you can do disarming. Here, what's disarming here?
I have the brawling and wrestling.
Disarming, 12. Brawling. So it's whatever your judo is minus 1.
Okay. Oh, so it's 8, and that's 2. Am I rolling 2?
No, always 3.
Always 3.
Yeah. You can always use a plot point if you have any left.
Of course I got them.
Okay.
4, 6, 12. Nope.
Okay.
Failed by 3.
Okay, so you try to like disarm him using judo, and it fails.
Okay.
You sort of try to grab his arm to like, and he just sort of like steps by you.
He's so dead right now.
You're still.
Yeah.
Are you watching this or are you not watching? I guess are you paying attention to the reactor and the work that you're doing? Or are you paying attention to
I'm
the
trying
glowing knife coming through the wall?
I'm trying.
I need to know one or the other. You can't.
One or the.
You gotta choose.
Concentrate on the reactor. He'll be fine.
Are you still on the reactor?
I don't know if he'll be fine. I'm sorry.
Well, if there's a fucking cyborg ninja, I'm probably gonna be looking at the cyborg ninja.
Okay.
You're like, oh, my cat.
Okay. So what do you want to do? It's your turn. If you're watching the Cyber Ninja and you're not,
You have this green ammo. If he's like not Russian but supernatural, it may help.
Well, I would have to take the turn to load the green ammo.
You have like loaded gun.
Oh wait.
yeah, it's in a pistol.
Did
Oh,
you
yeah,
figure?
that's true. Well, then I would have to. Wait, do I have a quick draw?
Did you guys figure out what the different colored ammo is?
Nope.
We know that green ammo like disable this supernatural abilities for some time. If you-
Okay.
and I have no clue what like pink ammo does, like or purple. Yeah.
Do I have any green ammo?
No, he had some, and who else had some? You had some.
No, I didn't. I gave him mine to
And
this
Albert.
lady. Yeah.
And Albert, yeah. Do you have a quick draw?
No.
So it would take you one action to take the gun out.
Yeah.
The question
Do you
is,
have any other
this guy
guns?
is supernatural or just like a weird Russian in another inner suit?
I have my SMG.
So keep in mind that the SMG fires the same ammo as the green. It's 9mm. So like the Glock that you have is the same. The Glock with the green arrow you have takes the same ammunition as the SMG. So if you wanted to at some point, you could put the bullets from the green in the thing, and then you could just like shoot with that. That's it.
Yeah.
Whoa! But anyway, you don't have that. So what do you want to do instead? You want to quick draw the pistol? You don't have quick draw?
No.
Are you gonna take out? Well, he still has to go through Drew first. He's probably gonna like kill Drew to get to you. So you got at least one more action.
I'll just take out the pistol.
Okay, that's your attack.
Fucking cyborg ninjas.
I'm getting hot knifed and not in a good way. So
Hey, that's legal now.
that's true.
Can you roll a strength check, please?
I can.
Because I've been waiting all this time.
6, 10. So you pass by 20 points. This guy passes by 21 points, by 9 points, so he's got extra. So he actually pulls you up into, like, he actually won the contest of strength by 1 point. He grabs you and he pulls you up to your armpit, like your whole arm is now like basically pulled out of the thing. You have to roll a health check.
It's like second round. So first one is crippled.
Pardon?
She like one of her arms is crippled.
Right. So it's the only arm that's not crippled. When you rush with, right? So you passed. It seems like.
I should be dropping.
Where are you going?
Just put my.
Oh, you cold? I can turn the heat up.
I'm not cold anymore. No.
No. Let me turn the heat up too.
And then I'll be too hot.
Then you can
No,
take
let's
off the
this
hoodie.
out. That's true.
See, science.
Solutions.
Can't
No more science today. Seriously. Done.
get away from science.
Okay.
Science is all around you. Look at all the particles.
Yeah.
He like wrenches your arm like sideways.
Cool. Okay.
You take 5 points of damage. Yeah, you're just a negative 10 now.
Yeah, I'm at negative 10. Thank you. There we go. Yay.
You've got 3 seconds left. Yeah. So the guy that's with the knife like swipes at you. And he hits, unless you're gonna dodge.
I will probably dodge.
Okay. You can try parrying as well, but that might not be a very pleasant activity for you. So dodge, you've got a good dodge. You've got a 10.
Yes. So I got 5.
Yeah. So the knife just flies by your face, and as it flies by your face, you can feel like this. Like not only is it heat, but it actually like you can feel like you actually get like whether it's a sunburn or like the skin actually burns.
Yeah.
You don't take any damage. It's cosmetic. But it's really hot. Drew, it's your turn.
Another facial scar.
Yeah. Second facial scar. What do you want to do?
Um,
You're now in like melee with him. So he's
Yeah. Okay, what do I have that I actually do that? Okay, so I have a fast draw pistol. I should do that.
Well, you could fast draw the pistol, but know that if you fuck it up, he can just like you're in like close combat with him, right?
Yeah.
So you could. Do you have faster on knife?
No, just knife.
In 4th edition, if you shoot in close combat, he can like parry your shot.
Yeah.
While you're raising your hand.
So that's risky. What about knife? I have knife skills.
Yes, but you don't have a knife. He has the knife. You have the escape. You could try and disarm him again, but you're going to be at a low score, right?
Even so, is it lower than the judo score I have right now?
Well, you could, instead of disarming him, you can just try and punch him.
Yeah.
Or you can try and do like a judo, you can try and flip him, or you can try and grapple him.
Or you can try to disarm him and use like character point in worst case.
Yeah. He doesn't know he has any character points left.
0.
He used them all up.
Oh.
What do you want to do? Do you want to try and like grapple him and throw him?
Well, I have brawling too. I
Right.
have 11 for that.
Right. So brawling is just like swinging away at him. Just the reason.
Yeah, that's true. He's probably crazy strong too. Ooh, what would my...
You could also use brawling to like give him like a Sparta kick. You know, like,
Nice.
try and kick him away.
You
know, like when
Sparta,
it
and he,
just
like,
punch,
kicks him in this,
like kicks him in the chest and like throws him back. You could try and do something like that. You can also use your action to like move out of the way. He's not holding you, right?
That's right.
So you can take like a defensive step back, or you could also do what's like an all-out defense, which will give you +2 to your dodge roll next time. If you want to be sort of defensive until Revenge shoots the guy.
I want to Sparta kick him out.
Back out of the hole. Okay, so roll and brawling.
He's gonna have challenges.
Yes. You miss.
That's my 2.
You miss by 2. Revenge, it's your turn.
He's still in front.
He is. You can shoot past him. It would be a
Not through him.
-2. -2 to shoot past him. -0 to shoot through him. Because it's a role-playing game.
Maybe you trip on a cat.
You sort of try to kick him, and you're like, "Ugh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just a biologist." Revenge. What are you gonna do? You shooting with the pistol? You don't have to. I'm just trying to figure out what you're
Shoot
saying.
him?
Shoot yourself.
That's what I
Why-
want.
Aim.
You're gonna take a second to aim.
Yeah.
Okay. Natalia, you have 2 seconds left. Your turn. Yep. What do you want to do? Just take it. Finish. Just whatever's left, you can finish.
I rolled a 10.
This guy ate them all. Roll. What are you trying to do?
10 for my health.
Okay. So you're still conscious.
Yep.
What are you trying to do?
Can I just try to pull him through the hole with this one?
You would have to pull you, so you have to win another contest of strength.
That's all right.
Now.
I'll chance it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay. You pass. You win.
Sweet.
So you can pull your arm. You're not holding him. He's holding your wrist.
Oh, I can't.
So you could.
I can't just like grab him.
You can't see him.
But you can feel when somebody's grabbing you where there's kind of.
So then you'd have to roll. So the strength check is now
Oh.
useless.
Okay.
He's grappling you, so you've managed to get out.
Oh.
That's sort of the way it works. Like in GURPS, if you're just in hand-to-hand combat with someone, you're just rolling on your brawling skill, your karate skill, whatever.
Okay.
But if they're grappling you and they are holding you because they've won, you've just broken free of them. So now next turn you would have to
Oh.
grab him again. But you're able to pull your arm back out of the hole if you want.
But I wanted to grab him while he was still grabbed onto me. Otherwise, I'm kind of like flailing around looking at him or trying to find him.
Yeah. Okay, so then you can roll on your brawling skill at -4 to grab him. Or your wrestling at -4 to grab him.
Said wrestling or
Brawling.
rolling to 13. Oh, I guess if we use the brawling.
Okay.
Skills 13.
Yeah, so
I said it's at -4.
Oh, minus 40.
So yeah, so you try to drag him and you.
Yeah.
Whose turn is it next? 3. It's your turn. Oh no, it's the guy's turn.
The guys.
Yeah, the guy with the knife.
What do we call them?
Let's just call him Ninja
Ninja
Knives.
hot knives.
Ninja Hot Knives. Yeah. He slashes
Sounds
at
like cyberpunk.
Sure.
he slashes at your chest. He fails. He misses. Your turn, Drew.
That's going on. Fucking, I'm trying to kick him.
You're gonna kick him again? Okay. Kick him.
What? Can I have that green spark?
No, you can have one of these dice. These are my dice. You want these big dice? Big like idiot dice?
We're for the seating in Paris.
Yes, 6-9. That's 200.
Okay. He like twists out of the way and grabs your ankle. We're bed.
Now he can throw you.
It's your turn. You've got +1.
+1, so lose -2 originally.
Right.
But
so
now-
it's -1.
So it's still like behind him.
Still behind him.
Like they've been moving. So this guy was like twisting away of the
Yeah.
kick.
Yeah. Let's say that you have just +1 now.
Yeah, so
Right. What part are you shooting at?
Um,
Just pick like a good spot. What's your roll?
the roll is the 13.
what are you gonna shoot at, bro?
Might just,
You're not too many options.
yeah.
If you shoot at his arm, it's -2.
What's the point in shooting?
If you shoot his groin, it's -3.
I'll just shoot at his main point.
Okay.
Main body or like random?
Rain body or random?
Main body.
Okay. Roll. +1. So you're rolling under whatever your skill is +1.
Yeah, so 13.
Okay. So fuck it up.
And
Okay. Roll for damage.
How many shots? It should be like first question.
Yeah. How many bullets do you shoot?
3.
Okay. How many
What's
did
rate
you
of fire?
classify?
Rate of fire and
The rate of fire is 3.
and the recoil is 2. So it's like 7 on 14. So you basically made them all.
All 3 hit. Roll for damage per bullet.
We have no clue what the damage on this.
You've never
main
shot
bullet.
this before. Oh yeah, it's too deep.
And the first bullet is just first one. 6. And 8.
Okay. So, there's DR. He's wearing a vest. The second bullet doesn't penetrate. The first 2 bullets.
So what?
The first
main
2,
body.
the first bullet and the third bullet penetrate. And let's see if, yeah, he like basically flies back. He doesn't fly out of the hole, but he flies down on the ground and he loses hold of your ankle. You can see that where the 2 bullets went like into his armor. There's like you see them like they're like glowing. Bullets are glowing. Yeah. You've got 2 seconds left.
1.
1 second left. Your turn.
I gotta take the bullets back. Okay, so I missed trying to grab this, which means probably my hair's still grabbing.
He hasn't grabbed onto you yet. Your arm is still like you can't see your arm, right?
Yeah.
It's like imagine you're sticking your arm through like between 2 curtains and you're trying to grab someone that's on the other side.
Yeah.
You can't see them very well.
No, but didn't he grab me?
You stick you punch through and you grab your hand,
Yeah.
pull it out, and then like bent it back, and then you pulled it out. And as you pulled it out, you tried to grab it.
Yeah.
Are you just leaving your arm like out of the hole?
No. I'll pull it out.
Okay.
Move back
You want to move back a little bit? I know this is not as
from
like.
the hole.
You want to move away from the hole?
This is not very far.
Okay.
You move like straight back or like inside?
Oh, to the side for sure. I don't know if you can direct hit of whatever's coming through it.
Okay.
Maybe fail it, but definitely not stupid.
Basically, a flashbang falls through the hole.
Ah, poop.
Like goes. It doesn't go off right away.
A flashbang?
Flashbang. It's a grenade.
It's
Oh.
just
That
a
goes
weird
flash.
way,
Oh.
And goes bang.
in temporary blinds.
And you go, oh, like it's like guess what the SWAT team uses when they're like breaching a hole, they like toss it through,
Yeah.
and it basically
Blinds you,
stuns.
really.
Yeah, stuns you. Drew, it's your turn.
Stomp on his face.
Well, isn't he gone? That isn't he.
No, he's lying on the ground in front of you.
Let's kick him out. How easy would that be?
You could like.
Is he still holding the knife?
He is still holding the knife, yeah.
How? What's his state?
Cut his hand with the knife.
He's just sort of like lying on the like he just got kicked backwards and he like landed on his back and now it's your turn. Okay.
I want to run over and like just like take like smile.
Maybe like kick him in the neck.
Actually, yeah.
That's
Okay. So
It's
the
like
other,
stomp
so
on
the
it
other,
down.
yeah. So you'd be using your brawling skill, or yeah. What is your what's your judo? Is it really low?
Yeah, it's not. Well, it's too low in the throat.
Okay.
So
Do it. Brawling. Oh shit. That's a crit.
That's
Okay. So now you roll because you're doing a head, effectively a head hit. You're gonna roll on the. You're gonna roll on. Oh, you still not smoking?
Yep.
Nice, man. Congrats. Yeah, go check your phone. Go check your phone. Check your phone. Go check your phone.
This is in the second.
So now roll 3 dice for the critical head blow tapes. 556.
So I'm rolling for which one?
You're rolling on the critical head blow tape because you're effectively hitting him in the. It's the head and the neck. It's all one thing.
Yeah.
Sort of where the armor he's wearing. Blow does maximum normal damage. So so you look what your thrust is.
Yeah.
Damage thrust. So you don't have to roll it. So you basically do 5 damage. So you do 5 damage. Yeah. So you basically crush the windpipe. Yeah. Yeah, he's dead.
oh crap. Take his knife.
Yes. No, wait. It might be too hot. Is he supernatural or what the hell is this?
We don't know.
Will it bring me?
Tell you
A
that.
lot of questions.
You can take the hilt of his knife. You're wearing gloves. He's wearing gloves. It doesn't look like it's gonna like burn you. You know.
Could have mentioned that in his turn.
Yeah, because the combat's over.
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay, so when you like separate his hands from it to like take it, the moment he lets go of it, it stops glowing.
Ah.
So when you look at the knife, it looks like there are like pressure points
Yeah.
on the hilt of the knife, and if you like buttons essentially within the knife, and when you push them, then it starts heating the blade up.
Oh,
So did you
it's
kill
not
him?
something. He's not like a magical being.
That's right. It's just some sort of technology.
I know what I'm asking for Christmas.
A flame knife.
A flame knife.
So
I loot in the ninja.
he crushed his windpipe.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
took
it.
his flame knife. Yeah.
Hey, Ruben, are you gonna shoot Drew now? Take the knife?
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to my.
Okay, it's gonna take you an extra minute now because you stopped.
My waiting minutes.
You've got 4 minutes left.
Fuck!
Yeah. So you guys are done. You are now on the catwalk.
So I want to like take a look around. Can I see anyone?
Yeah.
Like
You can see standing on this hull here is one of those guys in armor, and he's got like an artillery rifle.
And he's not looking at me. Probably I was stealth and like just like getting out of the.
Yeah, he looks like he was looking down into like he's got his gun like trained down into like the hole here.
I take aim maneuver.
Okay, aim maneuver. How many aim maneuvers are you gonna take? Just one?
We'll see. So far, just one.
Okay.
Gorillas 456. Sorry.
You're gonna look up gorillas. Corey, it's your turn.
Yeah. Do I have enough time to grab it and try and check it out the tiny hole and use my fist?
I can't tell you how many seconds the fuse is. You can grab it and try and throw it out the hole. Absolutely.
I
It
will.
explodes in your hand.
Come on,
Do
wait.
flashbangs?
Are you the GM?
Flashbangs actually like explode?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But they don't do a lot of damage. But I mean, if you like, you might burn your hand. But I don't think it's gonna like blow your fingers
Well,
off.
I mean, in real life, it will blow your fingers off.
Oh, will it?
Definitely.
Yeah, like a flashbang. Like one girl like was near a flashbang and blew her arm off. Yeah.
Okay.
So can my bed arm do basic things, or is it
No,
completely
it's
fixed?
Like it just hangs loosely by your side.
I have like no motor control in my fingers.
None.
God
You
damn.
just like lie on
I
I don't know, swallow it or something. I don't know. You think you're Superman?
But it will still have this problem
feel
with
like a Superman.
But
You
you
were
have all
fighting a mech with your bare hands
That
and
is-
wrestling it. That's what makes you sound like you're Superman.
That is.
That's like basically saying that's like you fighting Iron Man.
I lived.
Ah, yeah.
Barely,
Yeah,
but I'm alive.
Right. So what do you want to do?
probably have no choice.
Yeah,
You have
I'm
to
just.
try.
I'm gonna have to grab it and check it.
Okay. So you grab it. You have throwing.
Probably not.
You can just leave it
No.
alone.
I have like suggestions. She has like huge strength and like low, not as good like dexterity.
Yeah.
What if she just like pushes through the through the wall like using strength instead of dex?
You could punch it back to the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So roll on your health first to make sure you're still conscious. You are still conscious.
Alright, cool.
Okay.
Do it.
So now you roll on your brawling to punch it to the wall.
Okay,
So 13.
Yeah.
You pass.
9. Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
you punch it to the wall.
Okay.
Roll damage. So roll 3 dice damage. Doesn't go through. It dents the wall.
I just blew off my hand, didn't I?
Um,
Walk around over. Hey guys.
Okay.
This guy.
Yeah. Second. Okay. It's your turn.
I'm shooting at his head. Like
Okay.
same shot.
Same shot as
But
before.
now I'm getting all my bonuses. So I'm getting like my basic ACC
You're getting 6 plus 1.
plus 3.
No, plus 1.
No, 6 plus 3 is like my basic score.
You
So
don't
it's
get the plus 3 because you're not using the sniper scope, you're using the HUD. The
like,
HUD
when I'm
only gives
taking-
you. The HUD
well,
only
wait a
gives.
second.
What does the HUD give you?
No. It gives me a connection to the scope, but when I'm using
No,
it,
it says in here that you don't get to use the scope. It uses
Okay.
it instead of the scope.
oh, then I'm getting plus 2 from it.
Yeah, so
When
you
I
get
take-
6 plus 2.
Yeah, okay.
So you get 8.
8. And what
So-
distance? Like say
Yeah, minus 11 and then minus 7 to the head, so minus 18.
minus 18
Yeah.
plus like plus 8.
So minus 10. Minus 10.
Yeah.
What are you gonna roll?
Like 11.
Let's see it. Do it. Let's find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Well done. Okay,
And he's not looking at me.
correct. Roll for damage.
So 8 plus 1. 6. So 18, 22, 25, 26, 27, 29.
Okay, yeah, so it goes through again. and he flies off. No, like flies back. You see him disappear.
I'm done.
Okay. That's what happens. Are you gonna stay where you are?
Well, if I can, I will just step back into the like door or whatever I was. Like,
Yeah, you can stay. You can take a half step back.
And by the way, I got from this tactical shooting, I have like ability. So if I'm like shooting from the coverage, I'm getting like next level of the coverage. Like I'm shooting from the cover.
Okay. 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 So you take 3 points of damage.
Okay.
To your hand.
Yes.
Your hand does not get blown off.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but you take 3 points of damage. Can you roll on your? So now you're at minus 13.
Okay. Lucky number.
Can you roll on your health, please? You're still unconscious. Okay, it's your turn.
Has it gone off yet?
The grenade went off. I told you.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
why,
that's
it went
what.
off,
Yeah.
that's what the 3
Okay.
damage was, yeah.
Well, shit. Let's see. I got one shittier. Have I been like blinded for a bit?
What do you mean?
Blinded by the flash grenade?
No, because you're holding it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're not stupid. You're just like.
Can I grab the edge of the hole and just make it bigger?
Yeah, you can tear your way through.
That's terrible.
Okay, roll on your strength, and then roll on damage. So you're going to be doing the equivalent of sling damage now. So 5 people. Give me your big dice. Yeah, you just tear through. Now, when you tear through, remember the metal around where you're tearing through has those devices on it.
Okay.
So as you tear through, they're still attached to the metal,
Yeah.
but they're not. You sort of like move them aside. Like,
Yeah.
Imagine they're like
Yeah,
stuck.
it tears
Yeah,
the wall.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
So it tears through. You see her like tear through the wall, and she's just like. Actually, you can't fully tear through the wall because you only have one hand. So you tear.
Yeah.
You like sort of tear over. You're like.
It's like a
And
can. You just like start rolling
Can you roll? You have to give soldier, right?
Yep.
Roll on soldier. What is this woman in that? No. Toasty?
Just made it.
Okay. You can identify that these, like, on the metal that she's like bent out of the way, it looks like these devices that are attached to the metal are EMP charges.
Mm-hmm.
What's in the EMP?
Electromagnetic pulse.
Everything possesses technology.
Anything that's powered, basically electrically powered, if they go off, the pulse would basically like disable it.
That's what it is. Things on the walls that the leaders are? No, sorry, what?
What things on the wall?
I don't know. It's okay.
On the inside of this thing, there are EMP, like they're like satchel charges, but they're EMP basically.
So I'm screaming in the radio like, watch out, like don't touch this EMP like bombs.
And he's like, don't touch the EMP.
Yeah.
You think bombs are like.
I wasn't planning on really touching them anyway. Yeah. Is that a red button? Bam!
So you tear through the wall. Drew and Rebecca, you guys are still busy disarming the bomb, right? Okay. Well, combat seems. I mean, combat is over. So anyway,
How many like this PowerShell guys were there when I like initially saw them through the scope?
Charlotte. Yeah, it's
so
like,
another 4 minutes go by and you turn on this reactor. So now these 3 reactors are all.
So if it's like 4 minutes, then I probably would be walking to the next one.
You want to go to here?
No, the next
To
one.
this one? Okay. You go to the next one.
And I will try to connect like AI to this computer.
Yeah. So remember, you only have a certain amount of time before this one overloads, unless you turn that one off. Remember?
Yeah,
This
I'm
is
not
still
sure
hammering.
what exact time.
This was giving you, I think it was 10 minutes until it overloaded. But then if you turned it off, you had 30 minutes.
Oh, then I should probably run to that middle one.
Okay.
Like by
You can't run. The only way to get to it would be to go all the way around and then
I
here.
understand this.
But as you're running along here, you look down and there's no cap. There's supposed to be catwalk here. That was what was shown in the plans.
Yeah.
But there is no catwalk there.
Oh, so when I noticed this, I started like telling them, and so probably, and I asked her if she can like have like any rope and she can throw at us or something like this.
Nothing. We don't have stuff like that.
What about this?
Well, I can tell you that the end of this piece of metal that's hanging down has a rope and then a harpoon gun attached to it. Remember?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you should recover it and.
I'm skeptical.
And you probably need him down there.
Yeah.
That means I have to crawl down here, remain conscious.
Well, you might want to just grab the metal and pull it up.
Yeah, that's.
Oh shit.
I don't know if you want to climb down a piece of hanging
That's
metal.
what. Yeah, that's what I'm like.
You have IQ of 13. I know.
Doesn't mean I do in real life. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I could do that.
What I'm supposed to do now is supposed to grab it out of your hand and drink it all, and leave a little bit in the bottom and put it down and be like, there you go.
Or do a battle call and whip it across the room.
Sure.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
You can take me there.
But yeah, I definitely acknowledge his words, and at some point on my turn, I will attempt.
Well, it's not combat anymore, so you can do whatever you want.
Oh, yeah, for me, yeah.
Well, no thanks.
No, what? No.
Or a live stream.
That wasn't a,
Did you a live stream?
that wasn't a problem.
Ding!
Yeah.
Ding! Yeah. Tokens. You gotta buy some tokens, Drew.
Yeah.
Hey, subscribers.
Yeah.
Drew grabbing the nearest laptop. Okay, oh god. Yeah. All right. So I'll just pull it up.
Okay, so how do you want to? This is like
Oh, there's
metal.
like some dude that's still somehow on the other side.
No. There's no dude there. He shot him. You don't know that,
Oh, okay.
but like, yeah.
That's where my brain's at.
Yeah.
But I will try.
So as you look out here, you can see that there's a guy in body armor lying on the other side of this piece of metal here. And so it's like lying because of the gravity, right? He's like this is the top, so he's like his head's being shot through, but the rest of the suit is there. So if you want to take a shot, one there. So anyway, so you want to try and pull up this.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you want to do it? Do you want to like break it and then pull it through, or how do? Let's hear your problem solving. Imagine this is like a tin can. Like you know, like when you cut a tin can and like the piece is open, it's upside down and it's open this way and it's like hanging down like that. Except instead of coming from the top, it's like imagine like cutting through the sides of this and then like peeling the metal back. So you're like sticking your head out of here.
So I'd have to like start from here and tread.
Right. So you could basically what you'd be doing is you'd be either like trying to curl the metal back up, or you're trying to like punch through so that or tear it off and then like pull it up, pull the whole piece up. I don't know, or climb down the piece of metal. But your IQ would tell you that the metal is very thin.
Yeah.
And probably not, since you were able to tear it down with your body weight, you probably don't want to keep tearing it down with your body weight.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna try and roll it up.
Okay. So the metal edges are pretty sharp.
Yeah.
Do you have gloves on?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll assume you don't. Let's roll a health check to see whether or not you remain conscious before you begin this maneuver.
No, I do not. Oh wait, I do.
Do.
I do.
So you start like winding it up, pulling it up, pulling it up.
But I'm doing it with one
What are
hand.
you doing? Yeah. Oh, you've got one arm, aren't you?
Yeah. So like,
So roll one dice. only going to take you 1 minute to do.
Holy fuck.
So that's going to be 2 more checks. You need to do 2 more health checks within that period of rolling it up to not lose
just
fun.
So during this time, so since I gave her this advice to like make to get harpoon, then I run like into this reactor and I want to connect AI to the computer.
Okay. Yep. You can do that. You said you would do that anyway. So you're having them turn this reactor on.
Yeah, I want like to do 2 things. I want to run this reactor on,
Yep.
and I want this card beneath this reactor.
Yep. So it only takes 6 seconds to turn the reactor on. It's very quick because the AI is doing it. And then the cart sort of like boom, like this.
And I will try to get into the card. So tell me when it happens.
Okay. So it takes you a while to get down, back through everything to get there. Ruben, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go to this reactor and turn it on.
Okay. So Drew, what do you want to do? Do you want to stick with him, or do you want to try and take the guy's body armor off? The guy you killed?
Yes.
Okay.
Particularly effective.
It takes you about 4 minutes to take it off, so it doesn't take. So you managed to get it off before he finishes turning this reactor on, so it's fine. It fits you. It's just like body armor, but the body armor has a really good damage resistance. It's got a damage resistance of 8. So basically, when you get shot, the first 8 points of damage are effectively mitigated. The first, like someone shoots you with a bullet, if it does under 8 damage, you don't take any damage at all. Yep. As you're putting the suit on, you also sort of find out that it looks like underneath the weed, like underneath it's like a rubber. Well, like Batman suit. I think it was kind of like that material. Underneath the suit, there's like a thin weave of like electro circuits or wires, and it looks like there's some sort of battery pack on it. And then like built into the hands, there's like a little like Ant. You ever seen Ant-Man?
Yes.
You know how Ant-Man's got that little thing? He pushes the button on his hand to shrink.
Yes.
It's sort of like that, but obviously it's not going to make it shrink.
So what that?
You don't know what it does. You can
But the
try.
wiring is like
The wiring is built into the inside of the whole suit. Yeah.
Oh, and then it's like coming to me.
That's it. Yeah, just like a switch in it.
Maybe that's the visibility.
That would be a very smart conclusion to come to. No, I'm just saying. No, it's good.
It's too good observation.
Yeah, stupid. Way to go, stupid. No, it's a good idea. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
So you're gonna go.
And I can't I don't really have skills, so I just don't need it.
Well, he's done it. You can go with him to he's gone to the next one now, so you can join him there and like cover him, sort of thing.
Okay.
So you, yeah. Okay. It also looks like in the left hand of the right hand of the left hand of the suit has that button. The right hand of the suit has something attached, like in the wrist area. You don't know what it does, but it feels like there's some sort of control in the wrist that you can activate to do something with the right hand. I can't tell you what it is until you try to do it.
Spider-Man web shooters.
Can I do it now? Or is it
Yeah, you can do it now.
Okay, I'll do that.
So you sort of like activate it, and like a part of the palm shoots out and like magnetizes. It's got a wire, and it magnetizes itself to like the wall across the roof.
Jesus.
That's great.
So that's what that noise was. That noise, like when you shot into the wall.
So
He basically used that to stop himself from falling.
So if there's any material that can be magnetized, I can use that.
You can. It's basically like a grappling hook, but
Yeah.
instead of it being like going through metal, obviously it won't work on non-metal surfaces. But anything that's metal, you can basically attach it to, and then you can either pull it towards you, or you can use it as you can activate it and then pull yourself up. So you can use it like a grappling hook, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Wicked. I'm fine with that.
Good.
And have a flame knife.
So we need to switch off this central reactor
Correct.
and disarm EMP.
Yeah, that's right.
So you need to get him up there like as soon as possible.
What's that? What's he got there?
Don't look at me. Look at him. I don't know what the hell's going on.
This reactor.
So-
we need to get to this reactor. That's
Yeah.
what he's saying.
Okay.
The middle reactor, you need to disable. You need to get him to the middle reactor so he can disable it because it's going to overload otherwise.
Right.
But it's not like two.
Well, there's no combat, so there's no turrets
Oh,
anymore. You can just
yeah,
sort of
so
do whatever
can
you want.
Like,
Yeah,
you can like jump on my back and I'll just like grab the bus over there.
Yeah. I guess we can try.
Yeah. So when you try to shoot it across, it goes about maybe halfway and then it falls down. Because the wire's not long enough. So the only way that you could get him over there would be to jump off, and in the middle of your jump, shoot it across, and then grapple it. Well, it's not really Spider-Man. It's more like Stupid Man stuff, really. Because Spider-Man would actually know what he was doing. But yeah, you have to jump across, and then with him attached to you, and you both have to jump off, holding each other, and then he has to hold on to you, and then you shoot it across, and then you swing in.
Yeah.
That's the plan. You want to do that?
And what about
I'm just
her?
like,
Did she manage to get the harpoon by the time?
She hasn't rolled the other. When she comes back, she can roll the other 2 health
I
checks.
do have acrobatics.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, then that will make. What's your acrobatics roll? Okay, so that'll give you +1 to your dex. So you'll be rolling a 12, under a 12 to roll jump across. Actually, you know what? I will make it a 13. So, Ruben, are you gonna attach yourself to him? You're not wearing your bomb disposal suit, right? You left that a long time ago, right? Okay. Well, that's good because that would add a lot of weight and issue to it. Are you gonna be holding on with him? So if you push off,
He has
wait,
trust
if you-
issues with me
if
now.
you both push off together, I'll give him an additional +1. So he's now rolling on a 14. If he goes on himself, it's only a 13.
Ever since the knife issues, like the knife situations, it's that trust issues. Remember, I tried to remove a bunch of stuff and
Right.
fucked us both up.
Right. Well, the other thing you could do is you could give him the flame knife, and then if you fuck up, he can try and like stick the flame knife into the reactor and like slide down and stop himself.
That's crazy.
Goonie style.
Is that Goonies style?
Yeah, Chuck goes down the sail. He sticks the cutlass
Yeah.
through and he like slides down in the sail. Yeah, that's a great movie. I hope they never remake that movie. I will roll over my grave if they do that.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ruben?
Probably.
Are you gonna do it or not? You don't have to, man. Like, are you stupid? You have like stupidity as a
No.
disadvantage?
No.
Okay, so you have to make the decision if you want to go.
I'm just gonna grab him.
No.
You're not gonna go?
That's way too fucking risky.
Okay,
But
so
he
you're
got
gonna go
He
solo?
got 13 though. Why would I go over there? I don't have any skills and things once in there.
So the plan is for him to jump across
It's an amazing.
from one reactor to the other reactor and then use his grappling hook to get in there. If you can, so you've got 2 rolls to make for your health to see if you can get, can you make the other 2 health rolls?
Sure.
See if you can pull up the harpoon.
You realize like that distance requires a catwalk.
Yeah, this catwalk is actually not here though. It was
Yeah.
there on
So 1.
yeah, the conscious. One more.
No.
Okay, you almost get it up and then you're just like the blood just like the blood loss is still like still dripping out.
Yeah.
And the heart, then you sort of fall over.
Okay.
Okay, Drew, what are you doing? What are you guys doing?
So you watch your hopes.
Ruben?
Okay.
Don't do it if you don't want to, man.
Fuck it. It's the only thing we can do.
Trust me.
I don't trust you.
Are you gonna jump with him to give him the additional +1?
Yeah.
Alright, so it's gonna be you rolling on a 14, Drew.
Crazy biologist thoughts for flashbacks.
Roll under 14 or you're fucked.
Yeah. 11, 13.
13?
Sorry, 9.
11. Okay, so you jump across, you activate the magnetic grapple.
Yep.
You jump across here, you activate the magnet, and then you realize that you're definitely not going to make it. No, I'm kidding. You do so you activate it. You start flying quite quickly towards the side of the reactor.
I picture like I'm Samus Aran right now.
Right. Yeah. So are you trying to swing like underneath, or are you trying to swing like on top? I need to know whether you're firing your like.
Is this like open?
So there's a small hole here. Yes, you can thread the needle.
Well, I was gonna say, or like.
You still have.
And then swinging.
Yeah, you can swing in.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll in your acrobatics. So it's 13. Well, no, you
Made the
jumped
distance,
across
just
and you
jump
shot it
in.
through. Now you're threading through. You've
Okay,
got to
what
make
if
a
I-
strength check to make sure you continue to hold on to him. So what's your strength? 12. That's good. That's a good roll.
Counting on this
Yeah, you managed to hold on.
one. So stressful. Yeah.
There you go. So you both go through the hole and you're inside here. Fuck! Ruben, you defecated in your pants. But that's okay.
Quite close to doing that in real life. So.
There you go. So you're inside.
What's like counting down? So how many times we have to shoot this reactor off?
Oh, you've got a lot of time. You've got like 3.5 minutes.
That's
So much time.
So I remind you about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Hang on, let me call my mom first.
Yeah.
So you've got if he goes with you because he has some bio. Do you have any sort of nuclear in your butt, like chemical hazardous materials? Do you have hazardous materials chemical?
Yes.
Okay, so you can give him a +2 to his skill. So you can roll on your nuclear skill, and then with a plus whatever it is, the skill is +2.
Okay, so that's
What's your skill?
13. So,
So 15.
15.
Yeah. So don't roll over 15. $13. Okay, so now roll 1 dice for how many minutes it's going to take. There you go. So you have 30 seconds. So you managed to stop it with 30 seconds to spare.
Now the MPs.
Now you've got to disable the EMPs.
Now we have to jump back to the.
Why do you have to jump back?
You
Oh,
need,
wait, is
you
there
need
The
to
EMPs
disarm
are
the
underneath in here.
Oh, right. Yeah. Right.
As you start crawling down through here, you notice that there's an unconscious Corey.
Yeah.
Either of you have first aid.
EMPs first.
EMPs first. I'm shutting those down first.
Okay, so roll on explosives disposal. Ordnance disposal, explosives. 14. That's a good roll.
Oh, this
shit.
like,
Critical.
Yeah.
Okay, so it takes you. You're just like, and you turn them all off. So now you've got. Oh yeah, actually. Hang on. Okay, make it by 1. There's now 30 minutes. You've got a 30-minute window now until you still have to vent this, but you've got an extra instead of being.
Do we have to
so
still turn this thing off?
yeah.
You have to turn that on.
You have to get
Oh,
it back.
right,
So
right.
so we have to like bring her like conscious and like recover this. Recover this like power armor and get back to this 5th silent. So anyone has like first aid? One of you?
I have first aid. So we're gonna do first aid on
Okay.
Lori.
This is a stressful game. I can't believe no one fucked up on any of those rolls. What?
Guys, straight on.
Okay, so we'll, so yeah, you get 2 hit points back. Sweet. So you're now at -11. And you're no longer like in danger of like you don't have to keep rolling to become conscious. You're just you're at a very low hit point. But if you get hit again, then you have to roll to stay conscious, basically, because you're like.
How many seats are there in my like cart?
How many seats are in your cart? There's 3 in each cart now because there's 4 of you.
but we have just like one cart.
Correct. So as you get down to the bottom, as you start so where the cart is, you can see that the track and the cart are kind of like going like this a little bit, like you're right near the end of the cart, like the end of the cart's here, hanging off in space, right? And the next support for it is underneath this reactor. So like basically the cart and the rail is like here's the reactor, so this is the reactor that you crawled out of. Here's the rail. It's attached here, and then other places. And the cart is here. So it's like the rail is like, and then broken here. So this whole piece here is like.
I will go back and send it back to this central pylon. I'm not gonna board.
Okay. Okay.
And then I will use catwalk to get there.
Okay. You send it back.
While they do all this disarmament and like that.
Right. Okay, Ruben, your suit starts beeping. There's a beeping noise on your suit. You check the thing. You've got 4 minutes left until because your suit had 30 minutes. Everyone's suit has 30 minutes of protection against because you're in a nuclear area. So you've got 4 minutes left on the suit. It's a 4-minute alarm.
Okay.
So you have to recover this like harpoon and this like corpse of this dead guy.
No,
with armor.
all I'm gonna do is shut that thing off. Like that's all I need to do, right?
No, you have to get in the cart, and you have to travel to this area to turn the cooling on in order to make sure that it doesn't do the thing. But you know that if you can get to this zone, this area, there's probably a chemical shower that you can use to refresh the 30-minute. The suit has the suit is contaminated, right? It can hold a certain amount of contamination before it starts to erode and the seal.
And the cart itself should be protected.
Yes, the cart inside of the cart is protected. So if you get into the cart, you can like take the suit off, and then you can use the well, you can't. Yeah, I mean he can't. I mean the cart doesn't go underneath this reactor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The cart only goes to here. So someone has to go here at some point to turn to do the thing, but they've got 30 minutes to do that. But you've all only got 4 minutes left on your suit. But there's only 3 of you who have a suit. You don't have a suit.
I have a suit,
She doesn't need a suit.
and I'm unconscious, so.
No, you're conscious because he just got you.
Oh.
So you can get back like now to this 5th silo.
But do I know of any of this? I don't think I
No.
do. Okay.
No.
So I'm
You're just with them.
blissfully unaware, trying to throw bodies down holes.
That's right. You gonna throw the other body down the hole?
No. Skip the second one. I want the armor. Take his armor.
I can't put it on though.
I can.
Are we talking via radio? Is that what's
Yeah.
going on? Okay, cool.
Okay, so either way, we still need the.
Are you gonna go? You already went here. You already turned this reactor off. This is already off.
Yeah.
You have to go. Someone has to go down here
So
on the.
you need to retrieve this harpoon anyway.
Yeah,
Like
either way.
again, so like
Why
simple
why do you need the harpoon?
So
to
we
get
can
back
get there.
on the
yeah,
center
so,
silo.
So
Well,
I.
you can just jump back.
Yeah, I'm not doing that again.
Why can't I jump into one of the carts too and just ride back?
Because there's no cart underneath where you are. The cart is underneath this wheel.
Okay.
There's no rails underneath this
Yeah.
tractor.
I can just jump over to the cart.
You want to jump? Okay, go for it. 13.
That's fine. Well, 13.
Why
And
don't
jump
you use
with
the
that?
harpoon?
Because the harpoon isn't being pulled up yet.
So why don't you do it? Shouldn't like take
Yeah, that's
too
what I'm
long.
saying. That's why I'm saying we should get the harpoon.
Are you gonna try and pull it up, or Corey, are you gonna pull it up?
I'm gonna ask you to pull it up.
Yeah, I
Because I
will.
need it.
I think I can handle
Okay,
it.
you managed to pull it up. Drew, are you still jumping over?
So what's this harpoon you guys are talking about?
There's a harpoon that she shot
When-
across the first time
Yeah.
when she was like, and then she pulled. Basically, what she did is she had a harpoon gun. She shot it across to here. This was in the kin session when you weren't here. She shot it across. As she started sliding down, it basically broke and tore an entire strip off the thing.
My weight pulled the wall.
Yeah, pulled the wall apart.
Yeah.
Are you actually jumping across to the other reactor, Drew?
If it's
13.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Sit that out.
You just trip off.
I'm spending so much luck now.
Yeah. So you have one more shot to try and shoot it at the reactor. So you can roll on. You can roll on your straight on your. It's just dex this time though.
Under 11.
If it's low, you can keep it.
No. It's more.
Should I catch it?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
You already took it back. You can't do
No,
that.
I'll let it. I'm not trying to be super tasty.
11 is wrong.
Yeah. You fall. You start.
Oh, shit.
You start falling off down below the
shit.
reactors.
Oh shit.
Nice knowing you guys.
You tried to jump.
Okay,
right?
so you roll it. So you roll a 10. You smash into this rail here below the reactors. Okay.
Holy crap.
You take 9 points of damage.
I mean, you have. Oh,
4, 5, 7,
What's the first name?
10. You take.
I can't do it. I'm sorry.
You take
Yeah,
9
drive
points,
over.
you take 9 points of damage to your main body, so your chest. Can you roll on your health, please? Which you roll under 12.
12.
Okay, so you're conscious.
Okay.
The only reason why you didn't die is because you're wearing that suit.
So minus 7 HP.
Minus 7 HP. And you're conscious and you're lying, it hurts. You're like, yeah, you're like, fuck! But it's now you can just walk down the aisle. You can walk down to go and disarm that thing. Yeah, if I rolled a 10, I basically said to myself, if I roll 10 or under, then you hit the rail and you roll a 10.
So harpoon, armor, going back to the Swift Island. While they're doing this, I will turn on this reactor.
With
Since
the
I just-
Archimedes?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So this reactor turns on as well. So all the reactors are now running.
And I waited for them in the car.
Okay. So are you going down there on your own? Or are you riding the cart down there?
Wait a minute. Are they pretty far away from the cart now?
Oh, you're really far away. You're like, you fell. So here's where the reactors are. You fell that far.
Where are the carts?
The carts were here, but they go like down and then down.
Yeah,
This is
way
a-
far away.
Yeah.
So just walk back to the wherever the rest of the food.
Yeah, you can basically walk to where the cooling is, but you still have to go there anyway.
How long would it take for him to get to this cooling system?
Probably 2 minutes.
So then you better do this, like just to save place in the car.
Yeah, then you can put the armor in the cart. No.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no space.
So
The armor takes the space per person.
So I'm gonna use the harpoon gun to try to get back onto this thing, so I can.
What are you doing with the armor? Are you taking it now?
I'm not bothering with the armor.
Okay.
I asked her to take the armor.
Okay, I'll drag it behind me.
You're just like, throw it down. You're like, there you go, buddy. I threw it down for you. No. Okay, yeah, you can pick it up, no problem. Put it over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Ruben, so you have rifle skill? Gun, rifle?
Fuck no.
Do you have gun, pistol?
I have gun, pistol, and submachine gun.
So it's gun, it's -2 to either of those skills, whichever one is higher.
So it's
So what's your Wi-Fi here? Do you mind if I get on?
Kodo.
And what's your password?
I gotta put it in because I'm on live stream. I don't want to like
Oh yeah.
announce my Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
password.
for sure.
So
We're waiting for the roll.
yeah. So it's gonna be below. I'm gonna have to roll under an 11.
right. Well, you can also take
Aim.
aim.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So it's just another second. Another 3 seconds.
Yeah.
You can take like 3 seconds
Yeah,
and get
plus 2.
ACC +2.
ACC, is it +2? Why is it
Yeah,
+2?
it's like each additional turn is +1. So we can aim up to 3
Well,
turns.
there's a maximum accuracy bonus on the harpoon gun of 2.
Sure.
The harpoon gun has a maximum accuracy of
No,
+2.
it doesn't work this way. So you have ACC number on the rifle.
Yes.
So if
It's
you
not a
spend
rifle. It's a harpoon.
whatever.
Yeah.
So if you spend just 1 turn aiming,
Yeah.
you get a full ACC on top.
Right.
If you spend like 2 turns, you get an ACC +1. And if you
So
spend
there's
another
no
turn,
accuracy
ACC
bonus on the
+2.
gun, so you get +3 total. So you get +3. So you can roll. You can take 3 seconds to aim, and then you get +3.
Okay.
So 11, 12, 13, so 14.
Yeah. So
Shoot.
Yeah.
Where are you shooting at?
I'm trying to get back.
Something strong. Pick something strong.
Are you shooting at the top, or are you shooting at the bottom, or are you shooting in the middle?
Try some sort of like thick beam.
Well, you can't really see a beam. It's just a smooth metal surface, right?
But I mean rails and the slotting station.
Yeah, you could shoot it like you can't shoot below because you're not low enough to see like the bottom of the reactor, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
but I mean
further away.
we know that this like walls are shitty, so
Right,
we have
right.
to
Well, you
shoot
could shoot
at
it like
catwalk.
the catwalk if
Yeah.
you wanted to.
Yeah. I'll shoot at the catwalk.
Okay, so roll under a 14. Don't fuck it up.
No pressure. Alright.
Easy. Okay, you shoot it. It sticks.
Okay.
So what are you gonna do now? Do you have rope? Do you have climbing skill?
Yes, I have climbing.
Okay, so
but she had this like handle on her.
that's if you're going down. You're going up.
Yes,
You're lower than you're down here, and you shot up to the catwalk.
Yeah.
So now you have to basically climb up the rope.
Okay.
What this?
Oh yeah, you made it, no problem.
Yep.
Are you climbing up the rope as well, or are you staying there? Do you have climbing?
No, I don't, and I also feel that if I do that, that might be disastrous.
Okay.
No.
So you climb up to the catwalk.
Okay.
Where are you going?
So why don't you climb?
Hmm?
Why don't you climb like up?
She doesn't have the
I
climbing
don't have
skill.
climbing, and with my weight,
What would the roll?
What would be the roll? I would say straight decks.
It's not bad. It's better than actual.
11? That's not great.
Oh yeah.
I know this. The other thing you could do is you could hold on to the harpoon gun and you could swing, and then you could use the motor in the harpoon gun to pull you up.
Why not?
that's an option if it can pull me up with my weight.
Yeah, you're not like 1,000,000 pounds.
No,
You're
I know.
strong.
Okay.
You don't weigh like 500 pounds or anything.
I don't know. I just managed to rip open a wall.
Yeah, it's rusty. It's an old wall.
Okay.
I think that probably anyone would have torn that open.
Alright, cool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
easy.
Okay.
Yeah, so you swing. You wait until he gets up before you start swinging around. No, just kidding. Yeah, so you're like.
Yeah.
It's like pulling you
It's the
up
slowest
slowly.
elevator ever.
Ruben, your 1 minute warning on your suit goes off.
Oh no. Can
Yeah,
I
I'm
throw
just
him
trying
to...
to get to the.
Let's jump into the cart. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get to the cart.
You're jumping into the cart?
What?
Sorry?
Did you say you're jumping into the
No,
cart?
I was waiting for them. I was in the cart already.
Okay, so you've closed it up already?
Well, probably while I was waiting, yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted to save some time.
Right, yeah.
So
Yeah,
where,
we'll let you in.
Where is? No, wait. Where is the cart?
It's below this
Okay,
reactor,
okay,
so you have
yeah.
to climb through this
Yeah,
reactor to get there, but it don't roll 1 dice. Thing's gonna take you 4 minutes to get there.
Fucking great.
That's fine. It's okay. It takes you 4 minutes to get there. It's not the end of the world.
There's a 1 minute timer on my
Yes,
suit.
that's correct. But I mean, it just means you're gonna take a little bit of radioaction. Radioaction.
Yeah,
It's not the end of the world.
Cool
Radioaction.
Cool band.
Okay.
Okay, I gotta go back.
So you get down there.
Mhm.
Okay. He opens the thing.
Yeah.
Are you going down there as well?
I might as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah. So you're gonna give him the suit then, I guess?
Yes.
Okay. So you put the suit in the cart? Is that the plan?
Well, can we fit like all 3 of us in a suit?
Like you three?
Yeah.
Or 4 people?
He's
down there.
already up
Yeah,
there.
all 3 of you guys can fit. It's a bit of a cramp with the suit in there as well, but you can take the suit. I'm assuming you're leaving the guy outside, right?
Yeah.
You're not taking the guy. Yeah, right. So yeah, with that, but the suit is hard. It's a hard suit. It's not like soft.
Yeah.
It's like Iron Man. It's like that similar sort of thing.
Okay, so then we'll drive into this
Are you gonna pick up Drew on the way?
he's already there.
Yeah.
So he needed like 2 minutes, and he spent like just 4 just like to make way down. So
Right.
He's already there.
Yeah, he's already there. Can you make a health roll, please?
Yeah.
Good, your penis hasn't fallen. There's something underneath you in the seat that you're sitting on in the cart. Oh, it's a copy of the order note.
I swear to God.
All right. So yeah, you guys all managed to get down to the cooling station. Congratulations. Sky station. What? Yeah.
How much time do we have left for the cooling system to show?
Oh, like 26 minutes, 25 minutes.
Something like this.
I was gonna check and make sure that's not my car that's beeping. 1 second. I don't think it is, but
It's time for a tunnel montage. That lasts precisely 17 minutes. So this is the new development of the cat.
ooh.
How it happened? How it could be new? So it's like open. What is
That is hot spots abscessing.
Can I see? Where?
That's on his belly. He's going to the vet this weekend to determine whether he can save or not. Because I can't just keep watering him subcutaneously for the rest of his life and feeding him a liquid diet.
It's probably an extremely.
If you're a doctor, Drew, look after him. Nurse him back into health for the rest of his life.
I've done this with a cat before. I can't do it again. Twice. Not that bad though. Like that's rough.
Sounds tough.
Like.
You don't do that again?
Stressful. Yeah. Like. Dude, I mean, it worked out fine. Gave him like beautiful, nice, happy life. But it was if anything had happened, it would have been hard.
Yeah, this is what you didn't see on the cat.
Oh wow. That is not very nice at all. Looks like someone hit the
The
chemical
skin-
burn or
the
something.
skin's
They don't know
peeling
what it
away.
is.
No, it's hot spots. Hot spots with abscessing.
And it was probably burned or?
No,
What's a
hot
hot
spots is
spot?
when they're trying to clean themselves, and they clean it so much that they remove
Oh,
skin.
yeah.
And they're not infected, but it's abscessing.
So I guess the easiest thing is just like remove the cat's tongue, and then it can't give itself hot spots.
I put a cone on them, but
Yeah.
Not to mention the amount of fluid that it probably drank of that, whatever it was covered with, the steering
I
fluid
don't
or
think
something.
he drank any of it. I think he just got clean. Because when I found him, he wasn't cleaning himself. He's only just started cleaning himself.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So going to the vet. The problem is that we haven't been able to administer proper medication aside from some sort of antibacterial thing.
Mhm.
It's because an antivirus wouldn't spread to his body because he's so dehydrated. It wouldn't circulate. It would just kind of pool in one area and stay there. So the trick was to try and get him to drink and eat on his own by first doing a liquid diet and everything else. And if by the end of the week he's eating on his own, then we could, and eating and drinking on his own, then we could tackle the other issues.
I thought he
Unfortunately,
was eating.
sorry?
Wasn't he eating though?
No, I'm force feeding him
Yeah.
through a syringe.
Yeah.
But it still works. Like,
Sorry?
yeah. But it
Keeps
still
him,
should work.
it keeps him fed, but we're waiting for the moment he can get up and actually, like when I put the food in front of his face, doesn't touch it. So like there's nothing much I can do besides the force feeding.
Is there a reason why, like, I mean, how long can you not feed the cat? Like, I'm wondering if he's not eating because he's not hungry because you're feeding him. Like, if you don't feed him and he doesn't feel like, will he go, maybe if you, like, didn't feed him for a day or two, I mean, how long you can not feed a cat? Like, I don't want to say, like, starve the cat, but,
Well, it's
like,
the-
can he
It
go a
depends.
week without eating? Like,
It
That's the
depends on
thing.
its condition. Like,
Yeah.
if it will be like healthy cat, you probably can like not feed it for a week at
Well,
least.
the problem, it's very, very sick. It's got an upper respiratory problem, an infection. So
That's
like
pretty
his
emaciated,
nose
so-
crusts up, so it blocks his air passages. So you gotta clean that all the time. He's got most of the skin missing on his feet, and now there's all kinds of weird stuff going on there. So you give him iodine soaps. Like it's just constant medical. And the fact that he survives the day without me being there, like by me going to work for 8 hours, it's kind of crazy. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
He just sleeps. That's really all he does.
and then we can bust it up.
It doesn't seem to be changing. But anyways, if I can get him by Friday to eat some solid food, like just the cat like food or even just the kibbles and stuff, then it's a good sign you can proceed with the rest of it. But if he won't, then that's it. There's nothing much we can do. We gotta put him down.
Yeah.
Only I think it's cheap. So.
Only what, sir?
It's cheap. Euthanization is cheap because he's less than 7 pounds.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty.
Just use the
I
small
was gonna
hammer.
say it's free.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Right, yeah.
Well, I mean,
Might have been when I found it.
there's been several times where like I've done the old 45-cent solution.
Yeah.
But I want to kind of put this thing down if I'm going to do that. Just
Right, yeah,
quickly
yeah,
and quietly,
right,
and
yeah.
that's it.
Okay, anyway, let's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine. So yeah, so you guys have all gotten down to the cooling station. Drew, you got there first, so you can shower in like the chemical suit shower, and that will like. Oh shit! No, you weren't even wearing because you took off the suit to put on the armor.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, you definitely need to have a chemical shower for sure because you're like.
What about his
radiated.
penis?
Oh yeah, can you roll that? Your penis might fall off. I'm just kidding.
I hate when that happens.
God damn it again! This is the second time this week.
So that shit back
You
on.
can roll on. Well, you don't have any skills for this shit, so you have to wait for them to get there to turn off the cooling on. You don't even know how to do it. So
Turn
you're
on
like
the shower.
you're like hanging out. No, you can turn the shower on. You just can't turn the cooling on for the reactor until you get there. So you guys get there and he's already showered and like he's
No
like
life
relaxed.
skills. Okay.
Yeah, no knife skills, exactly.
So we probably should shower like as well.
Yeah, everyone needs to shower. Even Corey needs to shower.
Yeah.
You guys can
Otherwise,
shower
we're not
together.
gonna stand close to her.
You guys can have a shower together. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so everyone is showered up. Everyone is reset the 30 minutes. As long as you don't go outside, you're okay. But you know, does anyone have these like electrical systems or like electrical engineering? You don't even need engineering. Operation, computer operation -2 if you have that.
I have computer operation.
Okay, roll it -2.
I have electronics operation.
Oh, you can roll electronics operation.
But it's like communications and sensors.
I'll allow you to use sensors if you want. That's close
It's
enough.
like it's 11.
What's your computer skill? -2. Is it higher?
Yeah, it's well, if -2, it's a bit worse than
Yeah.
straight electronics operation.
So we do electronics then?
But if I can use computer hacking, then it's higher.
You don't need to hang it.
Okay.
It's too much.
Yeah, maybe.
There you go. So you managed to turn the cooling
We could
down.
use AR for it. I could just plug like
Yeah,
AR.
you could have done that. Didn't you leave it up in there though?
No,
You
I
didn't
didn't.
even connect it up
No.
there when you never said no. Yeah, it's fine. So there you go. So we're done. We're set. All the reactors are running.
Fuck.
And the that's
Except middle one.
except the middle one that's being no, because you've
Good.
turned it off. Yeah, but it doesn't need to be on in order to work. Basically, what you've done is you've turned off.
Yeah.
The cooling is done, but it's routing the power from all 5 through the electronics for the main reactor and up. It's just this reactor's not running.
So what changed then? So can, let's say, AR now connect to like different silos or to outer world? So any like benefits we can like use right from right there.
There's no benefits from right here, but all of the doors that were locked before because of the nuclear threat are now unlocked. So you no longer, there's no bulkheads closed anymore. Remember before when you went down from one silo to the other, the bulkhead closed above you as a security measure. All that stuff is now reset. So now you can sort of move more freely between the systems.
So this area we are now at, like this cooling facility, it's connected to somewhere else, so we can only go back to reactors.
Let me see if it's. It is. You can roll on your. Does anyone have like? You have eidetic memory.
Yeah.
Do you have like absolute location or absolute direction?
No, but I have like map in AR.
You have
Like
a map.
AR like tells us about all this.
Right. So you are below that first silo.
First silo.
Remember the first one that you went into at the beginning?
Yeah.
That's the silo you're underneath right now.
I don't think we want to go up. It's kind of makes not too much sense. But we can go back to reactor. So what's our next goal? Like due to our like.
Well, your next goal in the list is to either
Establish communication.
establish communication and or try to find these other people.
And
There's one more silo you haven't gone into yet.
Yeah, and probably we should go there, especially probably like Russians came to that silo. It only makes sense. So we are in the first, so we came from second, and it probably Russians came from third, like no other option.
Yep, that's right. That's where they came from is the only one you haven't gone to yet.
Yeah. So we probably have to try go that way and intercept the rest of Russians and find communications.
Right.
So, but there's still, are there like any cars at this silo? Any more cars?
Yeah, there's one car at this silo.
So we can all like work. So what about this armor? So can I like use it, or it's like needs like serious repair, or?
You can use it without the helmet. The helmet. I mean, you can wear the helmet, but the helmet is not going to give you any. Like all the electronics on the helmet.
Is it possible to repair this electronics somehow? At this partially?
Well,
I have electronics repair.
yes, you'd estimate that it would take you a few hours though.
Okay. So what it gives me if I use it without without helmet? So still all power like works and
Yeah,
some
the power
strength bonus.
And it's got, and obviously it's got you can use the rifle. The rifle is a single slug.
Yeah.
And it does 20 dice plus
Okay.
5.
Okay, I will. Can I combine it with like helmet part from my?
You can wear the helmet that you're wearing now, and you still get all like you it just doesn't tie into
like
it.
I mean in terms of radiation defense.
No, because it's sealed. It's not. You can't use it. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I will take that one.
Right. Yeah. It seems like it runs off some sort of a battery that's the same as the battery that's in the cart.
So I will can grab one.
Well, you can take it out of the cart. But you remember before when you were looking in the cart, there was that radioactive symbol at the bottom, and Ruben sort of guessed that there was some sort of battery under there. Pardon me. You don't know what the battery looks like, but I'm telling you now that it uses a similar. It's got a similar sort of. It looks like a similar sort of size. You don't really know what's in, whether or not you're. I don't know how comfortable you might be, or Ruben, how comfortable you might be in sort of just like opening it up. You don't know how it's stored. You don't know if it's like changed out. Like if when you open the cover, that the battery is in some sort of like inert state. You know, is it like a 9-volt battery? Or if you open it, is it nuclear or is it, yeah?
So what my common sense tells me. So all this radiation stuff, it's like it's like all this card they're local. So Russian didn't bring that.
Yeah.
So may I suggest that Russian found this like armor in this third silo?
I don't know. You do note that the suits do have Russian writing on them.
But this third silo could be Russian.
Correct. You don't know whether, like, you've never seen a suit of armor like this before. Like this is above what you've seen before, and it also, like, you can't tell how much power is left because the helmet of the suit has some sort of head-up display system built into it, but that's dead. Like the system that powers it because of the bullet hole doesn't really give you any sort of feedback. So you don't really know how much battery left is left, or what other like the suit might have other capabilities as well. You don't know what they are because you can't see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It does make you about half a foot taller when you wear it. And like you're a little bigger, right? It also gives you, because of the way that the suit works, it's also -2 to use other guns because the fingers are big. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go.
Okay. All right. So at this point, I just want to know it's 9:30 now, which when we normally stop playing. Do you want to stop, or do you want to do another half hour? I think it's a good place to stop because you guys are sort of heading into the next area. It all depends on what you guys want to do.
You taking the bus?
Yeah.
Where are we going?
It comes at like 10 o'clock or something.
Oh, I'm going.
Which way are we going?
Going towards downtown.
Well, anyway, I can like drop you somewhere anyway.
Oh, okay.
That's no problem.
Like I'm going back.
Yeah, because you know.
Okay. Sweet.
Okay, so let's do another half hour then. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Is that okay? Unless you're tired or whatever, like it's up to you. I got mine. It's up to like popular vote, you know.
Yeah, if you can drop me off.
Okay. Great. So you guys head back onto the carts. You've got the second cart now, and you head back past the reactor, which you can now see that there's green lights on all 5 of the reactors, and you can head back into the third silo. As you head past, does anyone speak Russian?
No.
Okay.
AR speak Russian.
True. That is very true. Yeah. So you can like connect it into the cart, so it can use the camera in the cart to see. Well, I can tell you anyway. The third silo is called Combined Projects. So it's basically an Archimedes tells you that the third silo is where research from the first and second silos are basically combined to like final, the final testing.
So what was in second silo?
The first silo was the animal
Yeah,
testing.
and second
The
one?
second silo was the chemical
Mhm.
the chemical testing, and so the combination of the two is the combined projects. So this cart heads up into the combined projects. As it goes through, it rolls up into a station that looks very similar to this one, exactly the same, more or less. It's got the hazard, like the hashtag hazards on the thing. It's got the cabinets that have the. It looks identical. I'm just gonna wipe this off. Just give me 1 second.
Hey Corey, did you see Jamie Douglas's Toker costume?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's got the Devil's Night karaoke going on tonight.
Devil's Night? What's that?
Devil's Night, the night before Halloween.
It sounds like just some sort of fucking advertising or marketing ploy. Devil's Night.
I don't know where it's come from.
Thanks, Johnny Depp. That's what you say.
Oh, it's a fun costume karaoke.
Are you gonna go?
I think so.
Yeah. Cool, man. You know what you should do? You should take the camera and live stream it. Like I decided, you like live stream your life.
Very cool. I got nothing. I don't have anything to do.
So you can just like tear up a new one, I should go with you and like document your life.
You should.
What are you gonna dress up as?
Not tonight, but for real, tomorrow I am going to be a mad scientist.
Isn't that what you always are, though?
That's exactly right.
Okay, because it sounded like that's the kind of thing that you do every single day.
So I have this crazy mutant. It looks like the mask looks like a chimpanzee mutated with like a pig, like with crazy fucking some genetic experiment going on. And
I should have had everyone dress up for the role play.
Yeah, seriously. I have my lab coat, and my glasses, but then I'm gonna do makeup on underneath too because I don't want to wear like a mask all the time. So I'm just gonna be like sort of grayish tone skin with like dark rings under my eyes, and bloodshot eyes.
Wow. So like when you normally go out drinking, that's how you're gonna look in the morning.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, so you guys get up, you stop here. So in this corridor here, there are about 9 scientists. They're dead bodies. They seem to have been shot.
What sort of firearms?
Like
What caliber? Like a
7.62.
Okay, so not the one like this power guys are carrying.
No, just looks like standard like AK-47 rounds.
From I have criminology. So from what side they've
You
been
need
shot?
forensics, not criminology.
So
Criminology would be like, oh, organized crime. See, and like that's like criminology, like how. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, you can roll on it -4. I'll let you roll on it. You can't use everything for everything. I'm pretty forgiving, but it's like criminology is not quite the same thing. Look at that. Did you make it? Oh, so close. No, not right. How do you?
It was mine. I made it by 1.
Okay.
Like straight roll.
Yeah. So then is that you don't really know, but it looks like I mean there's none of them are wearing any sort of bulletproof gear. They're all wearing like mad scientists.
No.
Robes.
My question was whether the guys who shot them did they come from where we are coming or from other directions. So.
Oh yeah. So it looks like they were coming from outside, like not coming from the carts, coming from the other way, coming from this way.
Okay.
Because all of them are shot like, in their chests or whatever, and they're all falling back like towards the carts.
And we've seen this caliber, firearms of these guys we just shot.
I don't think so, no. But I mean, you didn't really look around you didn't really look around very much to see what sort of gear they might have left.
Okay.
You know.
So
I mean,
we
these
should.
guys had the workmen had pistols,
Mhm.
but you don't know whether they might have had rifles that they had put down and they just had pistols on them while they were working. You really don't know.
So can we like search the room and maybe like search the scientist's body for some like access, like cards or something?
Yep.
ID, like any of them was on our list. So.
Right. Yeah. You search through their stuff. There's nothing really of note per se. You do find that one of the scientists tucked into his waistband at the back of his pants, he had a Glock pistol with green rounds in it.
I'll take this.
Okay.
I'm not sure what that was, but that's fine.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
Speak it out. Yeah. So yeah, that's more or less all she wrote.
And there were like no cards inside, so we probably came with the one from here.
That's correct. That's correct.
Alright, let's keep moving.
Okay. So you head through this area here. As you head through into like the next main sort of bay where normally there were computers here. The computers here look very new. The ones that you passed by in the other silos were like 50s, 60s style. These look very, very new, very, very current. And also like beside there's looks like to be some sort of it's like an airlock.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like an airlock style door. And then on either side of the door here, there are cabinets with like stand-up glass door cabinets that have a first aid sort of symbol on them. Yeah, like a red cross, like a plus.
So I suggest to send like
Red
a character
cross.
forward.
Red T.
So I think that Russians may leave like some explosives like traps, mines like in this silo. So I suggest you like to check.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Are you checking? So what are you doing? Are you checking the cabinet or are you
That
checking
will be
the door?
good. We'll be checked. We'll do like all three.
Okay, so check for traps for Ben. I think you have traps, don't you? It's under T for traps at the bottom.
Oh, it's
Yes.
traps, not explosives.
Well, he checks for traps, and then if he finds a trap, then he can use it to disarm them. Where is it?
It's 11.
Well, yeah, you're not going to set off any traps. This is to see whether or not you find them.
I have traps on 14.
Why didn't you do it then?
I have no
Well, you already
explosives.
passed.
Yeah.
Sure, okay, whatever.
Yeah. You don't find any explosives on the cabinet that you look at.
Okay.
So what's inside?
Inside, it looks like there are some sort of strange. Again, you're looking in the first aid cabinet, right? You find trauma bandages, which are kind of like an advanced form of like field dressing, and basically it's like you know that like you've seen them in some of the mercenary work you've done before. You sort of like apply them to the flesh, and they stick to the skin, and then when you sort of like you peel off the upper layer, and they sort of like pull the skin together. So if you've got like a big cut or a big wound, you can sort of lay them on top, and they'll suture closed and like hold the skin closed. There's also what look like to be some sort of adrenaline shots or some sort of like first aid kind of shots, like hypodermic needles. And then there are also these strange looking inhalers.
Do you know what these are? Do you know what these inhalers are? You're not from this like project? I missed the point when we met her.
Yeah, well, she doesn't know very much because she was
She was
like
She was one of the experiments.
yeah, she was an
Yeah,
experiment.
but
And
did they use inhalers on her?
Oh yeah, definitely these.
Oh,
So you know what the inhalers are for?
Well, you have yeah. Let's see.
What? Oh, it's the medication.
Yeah.
Well,
I
you
got a
have
bunch
some
of
medication, yeah. But your medication, the inhaler you have doesn't look like these.
Yeah.
It's a similar sort of device.
So it looks like the ones before that the doctor
Nope.
took. Okay.
It's a similar sort of technology, but doesn't look exactly the same.
Are no labels or anything, or like?
They're all in the first aid cupboard. That's all I can tell you.
But can she explain like what her inhalers are for?
Yeah, and so you know that your inhalers basically you need to use your inhalers sporadically in order to keep the medication, in order to keep the chemical experimentation that they've done on you. The chemicals in there sort of keep the side effects from manifesting, more or less.
Mm. Yeah.
So they keep out like side effects, not the main effects.
Correct.
Any like anything on these inhalers, like any Texas or
No, but like you said, they're all in the first aid cabinet. The other ones are the ones that she had. They look similar, but they don't have they're all just like unlabeled. But again, like I said, they're in there with all.
Are they all the same or different kinds?
They're all the same.
We may try them on you, maybe they will heal. If you want to take a risk.
That's all I seem to be doing.
But he's also pretty badly hurt.
Yeah, but I don't think because he's been like diving into.
He
I've
fell
been doing
like
some pretty
he fell
crazy
almost 100 feet.
Oh, that's true. Just from like.
Yeah,
volunteer
yeah.
stuff.
You got like broken ribs.
You know what? Sure. What's the worst that can happen besides death and melting? Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe melting happens first.
Are you gonna take one of those?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll try it.
Okay. Okay. You get 24 hit points back. You take the inhaling shot, and sort of you start to get sort of kind of dizzy, and you almost feel like you're losing your balance.
Yeah.
And it also feels like your muscles are sort of tearing a little bit like inside your skin. And then slowly that effect abates. And yeah, you get 24 hit points back. So you're at negative 11. So negative 11 plus 24 is what?
Plus 13.
There you go. So you've got 13 hit points.
What about hand?
Pardon me?
What about hand?
The hand does not grow back.
Wait, it's off now?
No, it didn't grow back. I mean, it doesn't like heal
Oh,
itself.
yeah,
Is what I'm saying.
no.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need a pencil or something to. So what was that?
So
Plus
you're
13.
at plus 13. Yeah.
So we probably have to take like a few of those with that.
Sure. Drew, are you taking one of those as well?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll
What,
take one.
yes. What am I taking? Yes.
I don't know. Are you using one of those inhalers?
Yes.
Okay. You get 20 hit points back.
I knew that's something to do with health.
But if you're not, it doesn't bring you above your max.
Yes, I am immortal.
Yeah. Yeah. So you take it and you sort of feel like for a split second you sort of kind of lose your balance. You kind of feel like you're falling backwards, and it sort of feels like your heart is beating really, really fast, and all of your organs are like beating really like this, and you can feel like the muscles or the flesh around your ribs are like pulsing in some sort of way, and then it slowly abates and you can breathe again and normally. It still feels like your chest is sore, but it doesn't, you can't, like you sort of feel around and it doesn't, I don't know whether they're not broken anymore, but you can't feel, there's no pain in your, like you had broken ribs before and you feel like you can't really feel any pain in your chest anymore.
Is there a business card that comes with this?
Yeah, it's, you can call a guy. Yeah.
Got got it.
It's Samson is his name. Yeah.
What a time was
You can try and
You
calm
got it.
him.
That's it.
I killed
glad
him
you got
earlier.
it.
Candidate is done.
Oh my god.
Candidate makes you done.
So I will check second cabinet on traps.
You check the second cabinet on the other side? Okay. So
Rated by a lot.
okay, so there's no traps in that one either.
And what's inside?
This one here on the like painted on the thing, it looks like a Spartan helmet. And it looks like a skull, but it's not supposed to swallow. You know, like a Roman.
That looks like a horse with 2 asses.
What?
Like a
So it's not
Like
medical
helmet?
cabinet?
no.
Oh man, I'm not sure. Looks like some
It's
sort
like
of.
a Pac-Man ghost.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like some sort of like old video game nemesis.
Yeah. Exactly.
It goes, as it goes across the
Definitely makes
screen.
that noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like. Come on. It looks like this.
Okay.
So Roman soldiers.
Yeah.
It's
Centurion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Centurion helmet.
So what's inside?
Inside are again a number of hypodermic needles and some inhalers.
So it's probably some sort of like boost. I would say.
Maybe? I don't know.
The question is, what are like side effects?
You can't
Well,
tell.
that's-
Like all needles are same and all.
They look almost identical, but I mean they're obviously not the same because the
like between each other.
between the two cabinets, yeah.
No. I mean within the same cabinets.
Yeah.
Like needles and inhalers are the same within this cabinet. Like
Well,
no different
well,
kind.
well,
Like
the needles don't look like the inhalers, and the inhalers don't look like the needles.
no,
but
I mean like.
There's not a number of different types.
Oh,
They all look to be. You know, there's needles and there's inhalers. There's 24 needles and there's 24 inhalers, and they look identical to each other.
Like there's something in this needles, so it's like or
Yeah, correct. There's something in needles.
no text, no nothing.
Nothing.
Wanna try?
It's a jerk. Just eject him. You're stronger than he is. Just like grab him like, you try it, fucker.
But great things might happen. I will try it.
Which one are you gonna try, the inhaler or the needle?
Well, I did the inhaler last time. A
Right.
different, obviously. So yeah, I'll try a needle.
You try a needle?
Yeah.
Where are you gonna inject yourself?
In the leg.
In the leg?
Just like jam it in there.
Happy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paralysis, that's it. No!
All right. You have a temporary boost of +4 to your dex and all your dex-based skills.
Oh.
So everything that's dex-based,
Yeah.
which is this one and this one,
Is there a
really.
place I can write down temporary?
Yeah. Just basically put beside the dex ones, just put a little arrow here,
Okay.
and then you'll know. You can put a plus maybe.
Yeah, it's plus what? 4 you said?
+4, yeah. You can put +4 there.
So like take like all of those? Is that-
All of it.
Take all of them.
All the things.
Okay, I need you to make a health check, please.
Me?
Yep.
Okay.
-2.
I used to.
Yeah, so you start feeling like lightheaded, and you start feeling like your muscles are like pulsing and like tearing at themselves. So you probably want to take one of your
Right.
special inhalers.
Right.
Yeah, one of your special inhalers.
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. How many
Okay.
do I have?
You've got one,
Oh crap.
but it's got an indeterminate number of doses in it. But you don't know how many doses
Oh,
it
okay.
has.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'll
So,
take
so
that.
she like takes another inhaler out of her like pocket and is like
Like some asthmatic.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Guys, let's go. Get asthma.
It just like tore apart a bunch of stuff. It's like okay.
Drew, you gonna take any of these other special drugs?
Well, they all look the same, so they'll probably be the
Well,
same.
there's a number of there's injectors and there's inhalers. She only did one of the injections.
Uppers, downers. Maybe my body. She's like crazy mutant though, so my body.
Wearing another human flesh.
I don't know. I think I'm good for now. I'm
just asking because I know you're like a psychonaut,
Like I will take samples of like each. So I take like a couple inhalers of each kind.
You're gonna inhale them, a couple
No, I
inhalers
will
and a
just
couple
keep
injections.
them. No, I will keep them with me.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll keep them, but I won't do them.
Okay.
Might as well.
What
I
about
got
traps
my
on
HP,
this
by the way.
main door?
Pardon?
What about traps on the main door?
You can check again.
Yeah, made it.
There are no traps on the main door.
I'll try to open.
Okay. Boom! No. Yeah. No. Fuckers.
Game over.
Okay. You notice when you're like when you took the stuff out of the cabinets, like the injectors, you notice that like there's an area of the armor where you can basically like that holds like the needles. Like an area that can like sort of inject.
Like sort of like auto injector? Or
Yeah, like an auto injector.
It is like loaded with needles or
No,
it's like empty?
it's empty. I rolled. I like a critically rolled success for you, so that's why I'm letting you know.
Hey John, do you have a charger? Get charges.
What kind is it? Micro USB?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I think we've only got about 10 minutes, but I'll
Yeah.
give you a bit of a boost.
Juice.
So I'm all juiced up. I need to punch something. Start punching
Even more than
everything.
usual.
More bandages.
It just reminds me of like cartoons where it's like they're like raging and they just like punch their friend beside them. Like, oh.
Yeah. Kind of like the Sunny in Philly episode where like what's his name, Charlie gets all crazy. Yeah. Some new steroids.
All right. Okay. So you open up the, it's like sort of an airlock, like I said. So you sort of open up one side of the airlock. Inside here, there's like a really thick, and you can like sort of, I guess you can't really tell, there's just like a corridor and it's got lights in the floor. And then there's a second door.
So it's like airlock?
Yeah.
Did you have it all like the same and the last silo or
No.
different?
No. There was no airlock in the first one.
Should we do it one by one or all together?
What do you mean?
Like
Everyone go in the airlock.
I would say that if we'll start like opening the second door, probably first one will lock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's all go together.
Or we'll have to lock first one before we will open the second one, so something like that.
Which is
Let's go together.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll take yours.
So you go in here.
I don't want
too bad.
to
So-
I'm taking needles and shit into a room.
So when you close the first door, the door behind you, there's the lights all go, everything goes red, and then there is a like in this corner here, there's like almost like it looks like a security, like a security camera, I guess, of some sort of comes out of the ceiling, and like a laser just goes, and it like slowly like cuts you all into pieces. And it scans.
No, it's like Cube with the lasers.
Yeah.
They cube every like
Yeah,
literally
everyone
goes
falls
through,
into cubes.
and then yeah.
So it scans you all, and then you can see like on the readout it says subjects returning to silo, and then this door and then the light goes green, and then this door slides open.
Subjects returning.
That was actually Resident Evil. In Cube, it was like the grates, remember?
Oh yeah, the greats.
Which is even more.
I thought Cube had lasers as well.
So any like lights like in the corridors or something like that.
So we
Yes.
Cube 2.
Oh,
It's Cube 2 that has them.
So anyway, so the lights go green, and then this door opens.
What's behind the door?
And in this room here, there is a long corridor, and there's a red carpet, and the walls are made of like mahogany or like wood, like it's like an office sort of door. And on the walls there are like pictures of like Russian patriarchs. And there's like a big like hammer and sickle, like a big red Russian star. Yeah.
Well, it's not Russian, it's basically Soviet.
Right. Yeah. So anyway.
And what year is this now?
Well, you've gone back in time. Well, no, it's current. It's current time. Yeah.
You've just been holding on
So
to
it
it
sounds
for a
like
really
really
long
old.
time.
Yeah.
People can collect Nazi paraphernalia. Yeah, one of the farms that we were filming.
And on and as you're like walking up the corridor, it's like there's a bunch of ammo and there's some health packs. No, I'm kidding. It's not a boss. It's like a boss fight, Yeah. No. As you're walking up here, there's plaques on the wall, and there's like pictures of this guy. Pictures of this guy.
That's totally.
But we've seen him like in previous.
Yes, you see a picture of him like shaking hands with Hitler. In one of the pictures.
No.
What's his name?
Yep.
Oh.
What's his name again?
Henrik Tool.
Tudor.
No, he was born in 1949.
Exactly.
Oh.
So it's like, can I ask like AR to like if it has like any history like database like
Yeah. It
and
says,
photos?
it basically tells you that like that these pictures must be doctored, must be photoshopped, or must be digitally altered, because it doesn't make sense.
I don't care if it has sense. I'm not asking him like to tell me about sense. I'm asking him compare face of this guy with like Russian historical like political guys from the past.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any record of him.
Like sort of like Ribbentrop or someone like this.
Right, yeah, it doesn't seem that there's any sort of record of him prior to his like registered birth in 1949.
I'm not trying
Sorry, I
to
don't
check
understand.
name. I'm trying to check photo.
Check the face, you mean?
Yeah,
The face doesn't seem to have any sort of record.
Like, and this pictures him with Hitler is like any sort of like event. So is it possible to recognize the event or like place?
It looks like it takes place in this corridor, or a corridor that looks very similar to this. Like the style of the surroundings is very similar
So
to
we're
this
in
one.
a time machine.
Are we?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Or
Maybe that
Like, we
room
got
was
photo
sent
of
to
this guy in
somewhere in
future.
That's
time.
what I'm thinking.
So definitely like his like this paper definitely like made up. So probably a guy from the past.
But you've also seen this guy since you
Yeah.
came in here, right?
In different asylum.
Yeah.
And he probably shouldn't be like coming like here.
He's probably immortal. He's totally immortal.
The Highlander.
Yeah. No. But kind of.
Okay, so let's go like inspect the cell.
With that, we know we can stop because it's 10 o'clock and it's a
Oh,
perfect place.
such a cliffhanger.
I know.
When do we
Well, I
meet
still-
Hitler?
I'm still here at least for a couple more weeks, so.
Right.
This is
Yeah.
totally a boss fight from
One of-
Wolfenstein. Like,
One of the locations that we filmed at for my last film
Oh,
was
right,
at this farm, and we went into one of the guys' rooms,